king.
Bernardo? You come most carefully upon your hour.
It is now struck 12. Get thee to bed, Francisco.
For this relief, much thanks. 'Tis bitter cold, and I am sick at heart.
Have you had quiet guard?
Not a mouse stirring.
Well, good night. If you do meet Horatio and Marcellus, the rivals of my watch, bid them make haste.
I think I hear them. Stand off. Who goes there?
Friends to this ground.
And liegemen to the Dane.
Give a good night.
Oh, farewell, honest soldier. Who hath relieved you?
Bernardo hath my place. Give a good night.
Well, Bernardo.
Hey, what is Horatio there?
A piece of him.
Oh, welcome, good Marcellus. Welcome, Horatio.
What, has this thing appeared again tonight?
I have seen nothing.
Horatio says 'tis but our fantasy, and will not let belief take hold of him, touching this dreaded sight, twice seen of us. Therefore I have entreated him along with us to watch the minutes of this night, that if again this apparition come, he may approve our eyes, and speak to it.
Tush, 'twill not appear.
Sit down a while, and let us once again assail your ears that are so fortified against our story, what we have tonight seen.
Well, sit we down, and let us hear Bernardo speak of this.
Last night of all, when yon same star that's westward lies from the pole had made his course to illume that part of heaven where now it burns, Marcellus and myself...
Peace! Be off. Look where it comes again.
In the same figure like the king that's dead.
Thou art a scholar, speak to it, Horatio.
Looks not like the king, mark it, Horatio.
Most like. It harrows me with fear and wonder.
It would be spoke to.
Speak to it, Horatio.
What art thou that usurpest this time of night? Together with that fair and warlike form in which the majesty of very Denmark did sometimes march. By heaven I charge thee, speak.
It is offended.
See, it stalks away.
Stay, speak, I charge thee, speak.
Now, Horatio, you tremble and look pale. Is not this something more than fantasy? What think you on it?
Before my God, I might not disbelieve without the sensible and true avouch of mine own eyes.
Looks it not like the king?
As thou art to thyself. Such was the very armour he had on when he the ambitious Norway combated. So frowned he once when, in an angry parley, he smote the sledded Polacs on the ice. 'Tis strange.
Thus twice before, and jump at this dead hour, with martial stalk hath he gone by our watch.
What particular thought to work I know not, but in the gross and scope of mine own opinion, this bodes some strange eruption to our state.
Good. Now, sit down and tell me, he that knows, why this same strict and most observant watch so nightly toils the subject of the land, and why such daily cast a brazen cannon, and foreign mart for implements of war. Who is that can inform me?
That can I. At least the whisper goes so. Our last king, whose image even but now appears before us, was, as you know, by Fortinbras of Norway, there too pricked on by a most emulent pride, dead to the combat, in which our valiant Hamlet, for so this side of the known world esteemed him, did slay this Fortinbras, who, by a sealed compact, well ratified by law and heraldry, did forfeit, with his life, all these his lands which he stood seized of to the conqueror. Now, sir, young Fortinbras, of unimproved metal hot and full, hath in the skirts of Norway here and there sharked up a list of lawless resolutes for food and dye to some enterprise that hath stomach in't, which is no other, as it doth well appear unto our state, but to recover of us by strong hand and terms compulsatory those foresaid lands so by his father lost. And this, I take it, is the main motive of our preparations, the source of this our watch, and the chief head of this post-haste and roamage in the land.
I think it be no other but e'en so. Well may it sort that this portentous figure comes armoured through our watch, dressed so like the king that was, and is the question of these wars.
I'll cross it though it lost me.
I'll cross it though it blast me. Stay, illusion! If thou hast any sound or use of voice, speak to me. If there be any good thing to be done that may to thee do aid and grace to me, speak to me. If there be anything... Stop it, Marcellus!
Shall I strike it with my class sand?
Do it, it will not stand.
'Tis here!
'Tis here!
It's gone. We do it wrong, being so majestical to offer it the show of violence. For it is as the air invulnerable, and our vein blows malicious mockery.
It was about to speak when the cock crew.
And then it started, like a guilty thing upon a fearful summons.
Some say that ever against that season comes wherein our Saviour's birth is celebrated. This bird of dawning singeth all night long. And then they say no spirit dares stir abroad. The nights are wholesome then, no planet strike, nor witch hath no fairy takes, nor witch hath power to charm. So hallowed and so gracious is that time.
So have I heard, and do in part believe it. But look, the morn in russet mantle clad walks o'er the dew of yon high eastward hill. Break we our watch up, and by my advice, let us impart what we have seen tonight unto young Hamlet. For upon my life, this spirit, dumb to us, will speak to him. Do we consent we shall acquaint him with it, as an infant in our loves, fitting our duty?
Let's do it, I pray. And I this morning know where we shall find him, most conveniently.
Yet of Hamlet, our dear brother's death, the memory be green, and that it us befitted to bear our hearts in grief, and our whole kingdom to be contracted in one brow of woe. Yet so far hath discretion fought with nature, as we with wiser sorrow think on him, together with remembrance of ourselves. Therefore, our sometime sister, now our queen, imperial jointress to this warlike state, have we as 'twere with defeated joy, with an auspicious and a dropping eye, with birth and funeral, dirge in marriage, on equal scale, weighing both delight and dole, taken to wife. Have we here in barge your better wisdoms, which have freely gone with this affair along, for all our thanks. And now to the business that you know. Young Fortinbras, holding a weak supposal of his worth, or thinking by our late brother's death our state to be disjoint and out of frame, hath not failed to pester us with messages importing the return of those lands lost by his father, by all bands of law, to our most valiant brother. So much for him. And now for ourselves in this time of meeting, we have here in writ to Norway, uncle of young Fortinbras, who, impotent and bedrid, scarce hears of his nephew's purpose to suppress his gate herein. in that the levies, the lists, and full proportions are made out of his subject. And we hereby charge you, Voltimand, and you, Cornelius, as bearers of this greeting to Norway, giving you no further personal power to do business with the king than these delated articles allow. Fare you well, and let your haste commend your duty.
In that and all things we shall do our duty.
We doubt it nothing. Heartily, farewell. And now, Laertes, what is with you? You spoke of some suit. You cannot speak of reason to the Dane and lose your voice. What wouldst thou have, Laertes, that will not be my offer, not thy asking? For the head is not more native to the heart, the hand more instrumental to the mouth, than is the throne of Denmark to thy father. What wouldst thou have, Laertes?
My dread lord, your leave and favour to return to France, from whence, though willingly I came to Denmark to show my duty at your coronation, yet now I must confess that duty doth my thoughts and wishes bend again toward France, and bow them to your gracious leave and pardon.
Have you your father's will? What says Polonius?
He hath, my lord, wrung from me my slow leave by laboursome petition. At last, upon his will, I sealed my heart consent. I do beseech you, give him leave to go.
Take thy farewell, Laertes. Time be thine, and thy best graces spend it at thy will. And now, Hamlet, our cousin, and our son.
A little more than kin and less than kind.
How is it the clouds still hang upon
Not
him?
so, my lord, I am too much with the sun.
Good Hamlet, cast thy nighted cover off, and with thine eye look like a friend on Denmark. Do not forever with thy veiled lids seek for thy noble father in the dust. Thou know'st 'tis common, all that lives must die, passing through nature to eternity.
Aye, madam, it is common.
If it be, why seems it so particular with thee?
Seems, madam? Nay, it is. I know not seems. 'Tis not alone my inky cloak, good mother, nor customary suits of solemn black, no, nor windy suspiration of forced breath, nor the fruitful river of the eye, nor the dejected haggard of the visage, together with all moods, forms, and shows of grief that can denote me truly. These indeed seem, for they are actions that a man might play. But I have that within which passeth show these but the trappings and the suits of woe.
'Tis sweet and commendable, Hamlet, in your nature to give these mourning duties to your father. But you must know your father lost a father, that father lost his, and the survivor bound in filial obligation for some term to do obsequious sorrow. But to persever in obstinate condolement is a cause of impious stubbornness. 'Tis a manly grief. It shows a will most inconsistent to heaven, a heart unfortified, a mind untrained, an understanding simple and unschooled. For what should be will be, and is as common as the most vulgar thing to sense. Why should we, in our peevish opposition, take it to heart? Fie! 'Tis a fault to nature, a fault to heaven, a fault to the dead, to reason most absurd, whose common theme is death of fathers, and who still hath cried from the first corpse till he that died today, this must be so. We pray you, throw to earth your unprevailing woe, and think of us as of a father. But let the world take note, you are the most immediate to our throne, and that love which dearest father bears his son do I impart to you. For your intent to going back to school in Wittenberg, it is most retrograde to our desire. We beseech you, beg you, to remain here in the cheer and comfort of our eye, our chiefest courtier, cousin, and our son.
Let not your mother lose her prayers, Hamlet. I pray you, stay with us. Go not to Wittenberg.
I shall in all my best obey you, madam.
'Tis a fair and loving reply. Be as ourselves, in Denmark. Madam, come.
Oh, that this too solid flesh would melt, thaw, and resolve itself into a dew, or that the everlasting had not fixed his cannon against self-slaughter. Oh, God, How weary, stale, flat, and unprofitable seem to me all the uses of this world. Violet, oh fie. It is an unweeded garden that grows to seed things rank and gross in nature possess it merely. That it should come to this, but 2 months dead. Nay, not so much, not 2. So excellent a king that was to this, Hyperion to a satyr, so loving to my mother that he might not beteem the winds of heaven visit her face too roughly. Heaven and earth, must I remember? Why, she would hang on him as if increase of appetite had grown by what it fed on. And yet with let me not think on't. Frailty, thy name is woman. A little month, or ere those shoes were old with which she followed my poor father's body like Niobe, all tears, why she, even she, oh God, a beast that once discourse of reason would have mourned longer. Married with mine uncle, my father's brother, but no more like my father than I do. Hercules. Within a month, or ere the salt of most unrighteous tears had left the flushing in her galled eyes, she married. Oh, most wicked speed, to post with such dexterity to incestuous sheets. It is not, nor it cannot come to good. Break my heart, I must hold my tongue.
Hail to your lordship.
I'm glad to see you well. Horatio! Or I do forget myself.
The same, my lord, and your poor servant.
Oh, Sarah, my good friend, I'll change that name with you. But what made you from Wittenberg? Marcellus.
My good lord. I'm very glad to see you. Good evening, sir.
But what made you from Wittenberg?
A truant disposition, good my lord.
Oh, I would not have you say so. I would not have your enemies say so. I know you are no truant. But what is your affair in Elsinore? We'll teach you to drink deep ere you depart.
My lord, I came to see your father's funeral.
I prithee do not mock me, fellow student. I think it was to see my mother's wedding.
Indeed, my lord, it followed hard upon.
Oh, thrift, Horatio. The funeral baked meats did coldly furnish forth the marriage tables. Would I had met my dearest foe in heaven, or ever I had seen that day, Horatio. My father, methinks I see my father.
Where, my lord?
In my mind's eye, Horatio.
I saw him once. He was a goodly king.
He was a man, taken for all in all. I shall not look upon his like again.
My lord, I think I saw him yesternight.
Saw? Who?
My lord, the king your father.
The king, my father.
Ceasing your admiration for a while within a tent here, till I may deliver upon the witness of these gentlemen this marvel to you.
For God's love, let me hear.
2 nights together had these gentlemen, Marcellus and Bernardo, on their watch in the dead waste in middle of the night been thus encountered. A figure like your father, armoured at point exactly, cap a pay, appears before them, and with solemn march goes slow and stately by them. This to me, in dreadful secrecy in part they did, and I with them the 3rd night kept the watch, where, as they had delivered both in time, form of the thing, each word made true and good, the apparition comes. I knew your father, these hands are not more like.
But where was this?
My lord, upon the platform, where we walked.
But did you not speak to it?
My lord, I did, but answer made it none. Yet once methought it lifted up its head and did address itself to motion like as it would speak. But even then the morning cock crew loud, and at the sound it shrunk in haste away and vanished from our sight.
'Tis very strange.
As I do live, my lord, 'tis true. And we did think it writ down in our duty to let you know of it.
Indeed, sirs. But this troubles me. Hold you the watch tonight?
We do, my lord.
Armed, sir?
Armed, my lord.
From top to toe?
My lord, from head to foot.
Oh, then saw you not his face?
Oh, yes, he wore his beaver up.
What looked he, frowningly?
A countenance more in sorrow than in anger.
Pale or red?
Nay, very pale.
And fixed his eyes upon you?
Most constantly.
I would I had been there.
It would have much amazed you.
Very like, very like. Stayed it long?
While one with moderate haste might tell 100.
Longer.
Not when I saw it.
His beard was grizzled, no?
It was as I have seen it in his life, a sable silvered.
I will watch tonight. Perchance 'twill walk again.
I warrant it will.
If it assume my noble father's person, I'll speak to it, though hell itself should gape and bid me hold my peace. I pray you, if you have hitherto conceived this sight, let it be tenable in your silence still, and whatsoever else shall hap tonight, give it an understanding, but no tongue. I will requite your loves, so fare you. Upon the platform, twixt 11 and 12, I'll visit you.
Our duty to your honor.
Your loves, as mine to you. Farewell. My father's spirit, in arms, all is not well. I doubt some foul play. Would the night were come! Till then, sit still, my soul. Foul deeds will rise, though all the earth o'erwhelm them to men's eyes.
Back! My necessaries are embarked. Farewell. And sister, as the winds give benefit and convoy as assistant, do not sleep, but let me hear from you.
You doubt that.
For Hamlet, and the trifling of his favour, hold it a fashion, a toy in blood, a violet in the youth of primy nature, sweet, not permanent, forward, not lasting, the perfume and suppliance of a minute, no more.
No more but so.
Think it no more. Perhaps he loves you now, and now no sword nor coddle doth besmirch the virtue of his will. But you must fear. His greatness weighed, his will is not his own, for he himself is subject to his birth. He may not, as unvalued persons do, carve for himself, for on his choice depends the safety and health of this whole state. And therefore must that choice be circumscribed unto the voice and yielding of that body whereof he is the head. And if he says he loves you, it fits your wisdom so far to believe him, as he in his particular act and place may give his saying deed, which is no further than the main voice of Denmark goes withal. Weigh what loss your honour may sustain, if with too credent ear you list his songs, or lose your heart, or your chaste treasure open unto his unmastered importunity. Fear it, Ophelia. Fear it, my dear sister.
I shall the effect of this good lesson keep as watchman to mine heart. But, good my brother, do not as some ungracious pastors do, show me the steep and thorny way to heaven, whilst like a puffed and reckless libertine himself the primrose path of dalliance treads and recks not his own reed.
Fear me not. But here our father comes.
Yet here, Leah, 'tis a board for shame. The wind sits in the shoulder of your sail, and you are stayed for. My blessing with thee. And these few precepts in thy memory, look thou character. Give thy thoughts no tongue, nor any unproportioned thought is act. Be thou familiar, but by no means vulgar. Those friends thou hast, and their adoption tried, grapple them unto thy soul with hoops of steel, but do not dull thy palm with entertainment of each new-hatched, unfledged courage. Beware of entrance to a quarrel, but being in, bear it, that the opposed may beware of thee. Give every man thine ear, but few thy voice. Take each man's censure, but reserve thy judgment. Costly thy habit, as thy purse can buy, but not expressed in fancy. Rich, not gaudy, for the apparel oft proclaims the man, and they in France of the best rank and station are of a most select and generous chief in that. Neither a borrower nor a lender be, for loan oft loses both itself and friend, and borrowing dulleth edge of husbandry. This above all, to thine own self be true, and it must follow as the night the day, thou canst not then be false to any man. Farewell, oh my blessing, season this in thee.
Most humbly do I take my leave, my lord.
The tide awaits you. Go. Your servants tend.
Farewell, Ophelia. Remember well what I have said to you.
It is in my memory locked, and you yourself shall keep the key of it.
Farewell.
What is to Ophelia he hath said to you?
So please you something touching the Lord Hamlet.
Mary? Well bethought, well bethought. 'Tis told me he hath very oft of late given private time to you, and you yourself have of your audience been most free and bounteous. Well, if it be so, so it is put on me, and that in way of caution, then I must tell you, you do not rightly understand yourself so well as it behoves my daughter, and your honor. What is between you? Give me up the truth.
He hath, my lord, of late made many tenders of his affection to me.
Affection. Ha! You speak like a green girl, unsifted in such perilous circumstances. Do you believe his tenders, as you call them?
I do not know, my lord, what I should think.
Mary, I shall teach you. Think yourself, a baby, that you have ta'en these tenders for true pay, which are not sterling. Tender yourself, more nearly. Or, not to crack the wind of this poor phrase, running at us, you'll tender me, a fool.
My lord, he had importuned me with love in honourable fashion.
Fashion, you may call it. Go to, go to, go to.
And given countless his speech, my lord, with almost all the holy vows of heaven.
Aye, springes to catch woodcocks. Ophelia. I do know when the blood burns, how prodigal the soul lends the tongue vows. These blazes, daughter, giving more light than heat. Extinct in both, even in their promise as it is in making, you must not take or fire. From this kind be something scanter of your maiden presence. Set your entreatments at a higher rate than a command to parley. For the Lord Hamlet, believe so far in him that he is young, and with a larger tether may he walk than may be given you. In few, Ophelia, do not believe his vows. I would not, in plain terms, from this time forth, have you so slander any moment leisure as to give words or talk with the Lord Hamlet. Look to it. I charge you. Daughter, come your ways.
I shall obey, my lord.
Bear quite shrewdly. It is very cold. It is a nipping and an eager air. What hour now? I think it lacks of 12.
No, it is struck.
Indeed? I heard it not. It then draws near the season wherein the spirit is wont to walk. What's that, my lord?
The king doth wake tonight and takes his rounds, keeps wassail in the swaggering offspring reels. And as he drains his draughts of Rhenish down, the kettle drum and the trumpet thus bray out the triumph of his pledge.
Is it a custom?
Aye, marry is't. But to my mind, though I am native here and to the manor born, it is a custom more honoured in the breach than the observance. This heavy-headed rebel, east and west, makes us taxed and traduced of other nations. They claim us drunkards, and with swinish phrase, soil our edition. Indeed, it goes so...
Look, my lord, it comes!
Angels are ministers of grace defend us. Be thou a spirit of health, of goblin damned. Bring with thee airs from heaven or blasts from hell. Thou comest in such a questionable shape that I will speak with thee. I'll call thee Hamlet, King, Father, Royal Dane. Oh, answer me.
It beckons you to go away with it, as if it's some impartment did desire to you alone.
Look with what courteous action it waits at your more removed ground. But do not go with it.
It will not speak, then I will go with it.
Do not, my lord.
Why, what should be the fear? I do not set my life at a pin's fee. And for my soul, what can it do to that, being a thing immortal as itself? It weighs me forth again. I'll follow it.
What if it tempt you toward the flood, my lord? Or to the dreadful summit of the cliff that beetles o'er his base into the sea, and there assume some other horrible form that might deprive your sovereignty of reason and draw you into madness? Think of it!
Wait me still. Lead on, I'll follow you.
You shall not go, my lord.
No, by no means.
Hold off your hands.
Be ruled, you shall not go.
My faith cries out and makes its petty artery in this body as hardy as the Lemnian lions. No, unhand me, gentlemen. Still on my call. By her. Away. I'll make a ghost of him that lets me. Lead on. I'll follow thee.
He waxes desperate with imagination.
Let's follow. It is not fit thus to obey him.
Have after. To what issue will this come?
Something is rotten in the state of Denmark.
Heaven will direct it.
Nay, let's follow him.
Whither wilt thou lead me? Stop. I'll go no further.
Mark me.
I will.
My hour is almost come when I to sulphurous and tormenting flames must render up myself.
Alas, poor ghost.
Pity me not, but lend thy serious hearing to what I shall unfold.
Speak. I am bound to hear.
So art thou to revenge when thou shalt hear.
What?
I am thy father's spirit, doomed for a certain term to walk the night, and for the days confined to fasting fires, till the foul deeds done in my days of nature are burnt and purged away. But that I am forbid to tell the secrets of my prison house, I could a tale unfold whose lightest word would harrow up thy soul, freeze thy young blood, make thy two eyes like stars start from their spheres. Thy knotted and combined locks depart, and each particular hair to stand an end like quills upon the freckled porpentine. This eternal blaze I must not be to ears of flesh and blood. List, list, O list, if thou didst ever thy dear father love, revenge his foul and most unnatural murder.
Murder?
Murder most foul as in the best of his, but this most foul, strange, and unnatural.
Haste me to know it, that I with wings as swift as meditation all the thoughts of love may sweep to my revenge.
I find thee apt, and duller shouldst thou be than the fat weed that roots itself in easy and lethe wharf, wouldst thou not stir in this. Now, Hamlet, hear. 'Tis given out that, sleeping in my orchard, a serpent stung me. So the whole ear of Denmark is by a forged process of my death rankly abused. But know, thou noble youth, the serpent that did sting thy father's life now wears his crown.
Oh, my prophetic soul. My uncle.
That incestuous, that adulterate beast, with witchcraft of his wit, with traitorous gifts, wicked wit and gifts that had the power so to seduce, one to his shameful lust, the will of my most seeming virtuous queen. Hamlet, what a falling off was there from me, whose love was of that dignity that it went hand in hand even with the vow I made to her in marriage, and to decline upon a wretch whose natural gifts were poor to those of mine. But virtue, as it never will be moved, though lewdness caught it in the shape of heaven, so lust, though to a radiant angel linked, will sate itself in a celestial bed and prey on garbage. But soft, Methinks I scent the morning air. Brief let me be. Sleeping within my orchard, my custom always of the afternoon. Upon my secular hour thy uncle stole with juice of cursed heaven or in a vial. And in the porches of my ear did pour the leprous distillment whose effect has such an enmity with the blood of man that swift as quicksilver it courses through the natural gates and alleys of the body. And with a sudden vigor it doth posset and curd like eager droppings into milk the thin and wholesome blood. Thus was I sleeping by a brother's hand of life, of crown, of queen at once dispatched, cut off even in the blossoms of my sins, unhoused, disappointed, unannealed, no reckoning made, but sent to my account with all my imperfections on my head.
Oh, horrible, horrible.
Most horrible. If thou hast nature in thee, bear it not. Let not the royal bed of Denmark be a couch for luxury and damned incest. But howsoe'er thou pursuest this act, take not thy mind, nor let thy soul contrive against thy mother aught. Leave her to heaven, and to those thorns that in her bosom lodge to prick and sting her. Farewell at once. The glowworm shows the matins to be near and gins to pale his ineffectual fire. Adieu. Adieu. Remember me!
Oh, you host of heaven. Oh, earth. What else? And shall I couple hell? Oh, fie. Hold my heart. And you, my sinews grow not instant old, but bear me stiffly up. Remember thee? Aye, thou poor ghost, whiles memory holds a seat in this distracted globe. Remember thee? Yea, from the table of my memory I'll wipe away all precious fond records, all sores of books, all forms, all pressures past that youth and observation copy there. And thy commandment all alone shall live within the book and volumes of this brain, unmixed with baser matter. Yes, by heaven. Oh, most pernicious woman. Oh, villain. Villain! Smiling, damned villain! What tables? Meek it is I set it down. that one may style and smile and be a villain! At least I'm sure it may be so in Denmark. So, uncle, there you are. Now to my word. It is adieu, adieu, remember me. I have swamped.
My lord, my lord!
Oh, Hamlet!
So be it.
Heaven secure him! Hello?
Oh, ho, my lord.
Comfort, come.
How is it, my noble lord?
What news, my lord?
Oh, wonderful.
Good, my lord, tell it.
No, you will reveal it.
Not I, my lord, by heaven.
Nor I, my lord.
How say you then? Would heart of man once think it, but you'll be secret?
Aye, by heaven, my lord.
Then there's never a villain dwelling in all Denmark, but he's an arrant knave.
There needs no ghost, my lord, come from the grave to tell us this.
Aye, right. You are in the right. And so, without more circumstance at all, I hold it fit that we shake hands and part. You, as your business and desire direct you, for every man hath business and desire, such as it is. For mine own poor part, I'll go pray.
These are but wild and whirling words, my lord.
I am sorry they offend you. Heartily. Yes, faith, heartily.
There's no offence, my lord.
Oh, yes, my St. Patrick, but there is a ratio. And much offence, too. Touching this vision here, it is an honest ghost that we have seen. That let me tell you. For your desire to know what is between us, or master it as you may. And now, good friends, as you are friends, scholars and soldiers, grant me one poor request.
What is, my lord? We will.
Never to reveal this that you have seen tonight.
My lord, we will not.
They but swear it.
In faith, my lord, not I.
Nor I, my lord.
Upon my sword, upon my sword.
We have sworn, my lord, already.
Indeed, upon my sword, indeed. Sayest thou so? Art thou there, true penny? Come, hear this fellow in the selvage. Consent to swear.
Propose the oath, my lord.
Never to speak of this that you have seen. Swear by my sword. Then we'll shift our ground. Come hither, gentlemen, and lay your hands again upon my sword. Swear by my sword never to speak of this that you have heard. Well said, old mole. Canst work in the earth so fast, a worthy pioneer. Once more remove, good friends.
Oh, day and night, but this is wondrous strange.
And therefore, as a stranger, give it welcome. There are more things in heaven and earth, Horatio, than are dreamt of in your philosophy. But come, here, as before, never, so help you mercy, how strange or odd soe'er I bear myself, as I perchance shall think meet hereafter to put antic disposition on, that you, at such time, seeing me thus, never shall in arms encumber thus, or this doubtful head shake or by pronouncing of some ambiguous phrase or such ambiguous giving out to note that you know aught of me. This do swear, so grace and mercy at your most need help you. Swear. Rest. Rest, perturbed spirit. So, gentlemen, with all my love I do commend me to you. And what so poor a man as Hamlet is may do to express his love and friending to you, God willing shall not lack. Let us go in together. The time is out of joint. O cursed spite, that ever I was born to set it right. Hey, come, let's go together.
Give him this money and these notes, Ronaldo.
I will, my lord.
You shall do marvelous wisely, good Ronaldo, before you visit him, first to make inquire of his behavior.
I did intend it, my lord.
Marry. Well said. Very well said. Look you, sir, inquire me first what dance girls are in Paris, and how and who, what means and where they keep what company, at what expense, and finding by this encompassment and drift of question that they do know my son, so come you more nearer than your particular demands shall touch it. Take you to have some distant knowledge of him as thus, I know his father, and his friends, and in part, him. Do you mark this, Ronaldo?
Aye. Very well, my lord.
And in part, him, you may say, and yet not well. And thus, your bait of falsehood takes their carp of truth, and thus do we of wisdom and of reach by windlasses and by essays of bias, by indirections find directions out. So by this my lecture and advice shall you, my son. You have me, have you not?
I have, my lord.
God by ye. Fare you well. Now, feel it. What's the matter?
My lord, I've been so frightened.
With what? With the name of God.
My lord, as I was sewing in my closet, Lord Hamlet, his doublet all unbraced, no hat upon his head, his stockings fouled, ungartered and down-jivered to the ankles, pale as his shirt, his knees knocking each other, and with a look so piteous in purport, as if he had been loosed out of hell to speak of horrors, he comes before me.
And what said he?
Nothing, my lord. He took me by the wrist and held me hard. Then goes he to the length of all his arm, and with his other hand, thus, o'er his brow, he forced to such perusal of my face as he would draw it. That done, he lets me go. And with his head over his shoulder turned, he seemed to find his way without his eyes, for out of doors he went without their helps, and to the last bended their light on me.
Come, go with me, I will go seek the king. This is the very ecstasy of love, whose violent property quite fordoes itself and leads the will to desperate undertakings as much as any passion under heaven that does afflict our natures. I am sorry. Have you given him any hard words of late?
No, my good lord, but as you did command, I did repel his letters and deny his access to me.
That hath made him mad. Oh, I'm sorry. Sorry that with better heed and judgment I had not quoted him. I feared he did but trifle, and meant to rack thee. Oh, I'm sorry. Beshrew my jealousy, but it is as proper to our age to cast beyond ourselves in our opinions as it is common for the younger sort to lack discretion. Come, go we to the king, this must be known, which being kept close, might move more grief to hide than hate to utter love. Come with me.
Welcome, dear Rosencrantz and Guildenstern. Moreover, that we much did long to see you, the need to use you did provoke our hasty sending. Something you have heard of Hamlet's transformation, so call it, if nor the inward nor the exterior man resembles that it was. What it should be, more than his father's death, that thus has put him so much apart from himself, I cannot dream of. Therefore, I entreat you both, that being of so young days brought up with him, sith so laboured to his youth at Asia, you vouchsafe your rest here in our court some little while, and by your companies draw him on to pleasures. And together so much that you may gain from the occasion, whether aught to us unknown afflicts him thus, that being opened, as lies within our remedy.
Good gentlemen, he hath much talked of you, and sure I am there is not two men living to whom he more adheres. If it will please you to expend your time with some a while, for the supply and profit of our hope, your visitation shall receive such thanks as fits a king's remembrance.
Both your majesty's might by the sovereign power you have of us put your dread pleasures more into command than to entreaty.
But we both obey, and here give up ourselves in the full bent, to lay our service freely at your feet, to be commanded.
Thanks, dear Rosencrantz and gentle Guildenstern.
Thanks, Guildenstern and gentle Rosencrantz. And I beseech you instantly to visit my too much changed son. Go, some of you, and show these gentlemen where Hamlet is.
Heavens, make our presence and our practices pleasant and helpful to him.
The ambassadors from Norway, good my lord, are joyfully returned.
Thou still hast been the father of good news.
Have I, my liege? I swear I own my duty as I own my soul, both to my God and to my gracious king. And I do think, or else this brain of mine hunts not the trail of policy so well as it hath used to do, that I have found the very cause of Hamlet's lunacy.
Speak of that. That do I long to hear.
Give first admittance to the ambassadors. My news shall be the fruit to that great feast.
Thyself do grace and bring them in. He tells me, my dear Gertrude, he has found the head and source of all thy son's distemper.
I doubt it is no other but the main, his father's death and our more hasty marriage.
Well, we'll sift him. Welcome, good my lords. What news from brother Norway?
Most fair return of greetings and desires unto her. First, he set forth to suppress his nephew's levies, which to him appeared a preparation against the Polack, but better looked into, he truly found it was against your highness. Whereat, aggrieved that so his sickness, age, and impotence was falsely borne in hand, sent out arrests in Fortinbras, which he in brief obeyed, received rebuke from Norway, and in fine made vow before his uncle, never more to take the essay of arms against your majesty. Whereat old Norway, overcome with joy, gave him 3,000 crowns in annual fee and his commission to employ those soldiers so levied as before against the Polack, with an entreaty herein set down, that it may please you to give free passage through your dominions to this enterprise upon such regards of safety and allowance as are herein further shown.
It likes us well. And at our further time, we'll read, consider, and think upon this business. Meantime, we thank you for your well-took labours. Most heartily welcome home. Tonight, we'll feast together.
This business is well ended. My lord, madam, to expostulate what majesty should be, why, day is day, night, night, and time is time, why, it were nothing but to waste night, day, and time. Therefore, since brevity is the soul of wit, and tediousness the limbs and outward flourishes, I will be brief. Your noble son is mad. Mad? Call I it, for to define true madness, what is that? Would be nothing else but mad. But let that pass.
More matter with less art.
Madam, I swear I use no art at all. I have a daughter, while she is mine, who in her duty and obedience mark hath given me this. Now gather and surmise. To the celestial and my soul's idol, the most beautified Ophelia. Beautified? What a vile phrase. Beautified, that is a vile phrase. You shall hear. In her excellent white
Came this
bosom.
from Hamlet to her?
But madam, doubt thou the stars of fire, doubt that the sun doth move, doubt truth to be a liar, but never doubt I love. Oh, dear Ophelia, I am ill at these numbers, and have not art to reckon my groans, but that I love thee best, oh, most best, believe it. Adieu. Thine evermore, most dear lady, whilst this machine is to him, Hamlet. This in obedience hath my daughter shown me.
And how has she received his love?
What do you think of me?
As of a man, faithful and honourable.
Oh, I fain would prove so, but what might you think? Oh, my gracious majesty, your queen here, when I had seen this hot love on the wing, as I perceived it, I must tell you that before my daughter told me, what might you think if I had played the desk, or table book, or given my heart a winking, mute and dumb, and looked upon this love with idle sight? What might you think? No. I went round to work, and my young mistress thus I did bespeak. Lord Hamlet is a prince, out of thy star. And I prescripts gave her, that she should lock the door from his resort, admit no messengers, receive no tokens, which done, she took the fruits of my advice, and he repelled a short tale to make fell into a sadness, then into a watch, then into a fast, thence into a lightness, and by this declension into the madness wherein now he raves, and all we mourn for.
You think 'tis this?
may be very like.
Take this from this. If this be otherwise, when circumstances lead me, I will find where truth is hid, though it were hid indeed within the very centre.
How may we try this further?
You know he sometimes walks 4 hours together here in the lobby.
I so he does indeed.
At such a time, I'll loose my daughter to him. Be you and I behind an arras, then mark the encounter. Oh, if he love her not, and be not from his reason fallen thereon, let me be no assistant for a state, but keep a farm and carters. We will do it.
Look where sadly the poor wretch comes reading.
Away, I do beseech you both. Now, bold and cousin, they'll give me leave. How does my good Lord Hamlet?
Well, God of mercy.
Do you know me, my lord?
Excellent well. You are a fishmonger.
Not I, my lord.
Then I would you were so honest a man.
Honest, my lord?
Aye, sir, to be honest as this world goes is to be one man picked out of 10,000.
That is very true, my lord.
For if the sun breed maggots in a dead dog, being good kissing carrion, have you a daughter?
I have, my lord.
Let her not walk in the sun. Conception, sir, is a blessing. But as your daughter may conceive, oh friend, look to it.
How say you by that? Still harping on my daughter, yet he knew me not at first, said I was a fishmonger. He's far gone, far gone. And truly, in my youth, I suffered much extremity for love. Very near this. What is it that you read, my lord?
Words.
What is the matter, my lord?
Between whom?
I mean the matter that you read, my lord.
Slanders, sir. But the satirical rogue says here that old men have grey beards, that their faces are wrinkled, their eyes are nervous, thick amber and plum tree gum, but they have most plentiful lack of wit, together with most weak hands. All of which I most powerfully and potently believe, yet I hold it not honesty to have it thus set down. For you, sir, should grow as old as I am, if like a crab you could go backward.
Though this be madness, yet there's method in. Will you walk out of the air, my lord?
Into my grave.
Indeed, that is. Out of the air, how pregnant his replies sometimes are. Happiness that often madness hits upon. My lord, I will most humbly take my leave of you.
You cannot, sir, take from me anything that I will not more willingly part withal. Except my life. Except my life. Except my life.
Well, my lord.
These tedious old fools.
You go to seek the Lord Hamlet. There he is.
God save you.
My honoured lord.
My most dear lord.
My excellent good friends! How dost thou, Guildenstern? Ah, Rosencrantz, good lads, how do you both?
As the indifferent children of the earth.
Happy in that we are not over happy. On Fortune's cap we are not the very button.
Nor the soles of her shoe?
Neither, my lord.
Then you live about her waist, or in the middle of her favours?
Fake, a private we.
Most true. The secret parts of Fortune. She is a strumpet. What news?
None, my lord, but the world's grown honest.
Then is doomsday near. But your news is not true. Let me question you more in particular. What have you, my good friends, deserved at the hands of Fortune that she sends you to prison hither?
Prison, my lord?
Denmark's a prison.
That is the world one.
Oh, a goodly one, in which there are many confines, walls, and dungeons, Denmark's being one of the worst.
We think not so, my lord.
Why then? 'Tis none to you, for there is nothing either good or bad, but thinking makes it so. To me, it is a prison.
Why then your ambition makes it one. 'Tis too narrow for your mind.
Oh, God. I could be bounded in a nutshell and count myself a king of infinite space, were it not that I have bad dreams. But come, shall we to the court, for by my faith I cannot reason.
We will wait upon you.
Such matter. I will not sort you with the rest of my servants, but to speak to you like an honest man, I am most dreadfully attended. But in the beaten way of friendship, what make you at Elsinore?
To visit you, my lord, no other occasion.
Beggar that I am even poor in thanks, but I thank you. And sure, dear friends, my thanks are too dear a halfpenny. Were you not sent for? Is it your own inclining? Is it a free visitation? Come, come, deal justly with me. Come, speak.
What should we say, my lord?
Why, anything, but to the purpose. You were sent for there is a kind of confession about your looks, which your modesties have not crafted up to colour. I know the good king and queen have sent for you.
To what end, my lord?
Why, that you must teach me.
My lord, we were sent for.
I will tell you why. So shall my anticipation prevent your discovery, and your secrecy to the king and queen moult no feather. I have of late, though wherefore I know not, lost all my mirth, forgone all custom of exercises. Indeed, it goes so heavily with my disposition that this goodly frame, the earth, seems to be a most sterile promontory. This most excellent canopy, the air, look you. This brave o'erhanging firmament, this majestical roof, fretted with golden fire. Why, it seemeth nothing to me but a foul and pestilent congregation of vapours. What a piece of work is a man! How noble in reason, how infinite in faculties, in form and moving, how express and admirable, in action how like an angel, in apprehension how like a god, the beauty of the world, the paragon of animals. And yet to me, what is this quintessence of dust? Man delights not me. No, nor woman neither, though by your smiling you seem to say so.
My lord, there was no such stuff in my thoughts.
Why did you laugh then when I said man delights not me?
To think, my lord, if you delight not in man, what Lenten entertainment the players shall receive from you. We courted them on the way. Hither are they coming to offer you service.
He that plays the king shall be most welcome. His majesty shall have tribute of me. What players are they?
Even those you are wont to take such delight in, the tragedians of the city.
How chances it they travel? Do they hold the same estimation they did when I was in the city? Are they so followed?
No, indeed, are they not?
How comes it? Do they grow rusty?
Nay, their endeavour keeps in the wonted pace, but there is, sir, an eyrie of children, little eyes that cry out at the top of question, and almost tyrannically clap for it.
It is not very strange, for mine uncle is king in Denmark, and those that would make mouths at him while my father lived, now give 20, 30, 40, 100 ducats apiece for his picture in littles. But there is something in this more than natural, if philosophy could find it out.
There are the players.
Gentlemen, you are welcome to Elsinore. Your hands, come. Your pertinence of welcome is fashion and ceremony. Let me comply with you in this garb, lest my entertainment to the players should appear more like welcome than yours. You are welcome. My uncle father and aunt mother are deceived.
In what, my dear lord?
I am but mad north-northwest. When the wind is southerly, I know a hawk with a handsaw.
Well be with you, gentlemen.
Are you going, sir? And you too? At each ear, a hearer. That great baby you see there is not yet out of his swaddling cloth.
Happily he is the second time come to them, for they say an old man is twice a child.
I will prophesy that he comes to tell me of the players. Mark it. You say right, sir. On Monday morning it was indeed.
My lord, I have news to tell you.
My lord, I have news to tell you. Now, Roscius was an actor in Rome.
The actors are come hither, my lord. On my honor.
Then came every actor on his ass.
The best actors in the world. Either for tragedy, comedy, history, pastoral, pastoral comical, historical pastoral, tragical historical, tragical historical, comical pastoral, scene individual, a poem unlimited. Seneca cannot be too heavy, nor Plautus too light. For the law of writ and the liberty, these are the only men.
Oh, Jeff, the judge of Israel, what a treasure hadst thou.
What treasure is it?
The way abridgment comes. Welcome, master. Welcome all. I don't see you well. Oh, my old friend. Matt, my face is valenced since I saw thee last. Hast thou come to beard me in Denmark? My young lady and mistress. More. Your ladyship is taller than when I saw thee last, by the altitude of a showpea. Oh, my masters, you are welcome. Feel into it like French falconers. Fly at anything we see. Come, give us a taste of your mettle. Come on, a passionate speech.
What speech, my lord?
I heard thee speak me a speech once, but it was never acted. Or if it was, not above the once. The play, as I remember, pleased not the minion. It was caviar to the cello. One speech of it I chiefly loved. 'Twas Aeneas' tale to Dido, and thereabout of it, where he speaks of Priam's slaughter. If it live in thy memory, begin at this line. It begins. The rugged Pyrrhus, like the Hyrcanian beast. No, it is not so. It begins with Pyrrhus. The rugged Pyrrhus, he whose sable arms, black as his purpose did the knight resemble, when he lay couched in the ominous horse, hath now this dread and black complexion smeared with heraldry more dismal. Head to foot, now is he total gules, horridly tricked with blood of mothers, fathers, daughters, sons, baked and impasted with the parching streets that lend a tyrannous and a damned light to their lord's murder, roasted in wrath and fire, with eyes like carbuncles, the hellish Pyrrhus, old grandsire Priam seeks. So proceed you.
Well spoken, my lord, with good accent and good discretion.
Anon he finds him striking too short at breeks. His antique sword, rebellious to his arm, lies where it falls, repugnant to command. Unequal matched, Pyrrhus at Priam drives, in rage strikes wide, but with the whip and wind of his fell sword, the nerved father falls. Then senseless Ilium, seeming to feel this blow, with flaming top stoops to his base, and with a hideous crash takes prisoner Pyrrhus' ear. Lo, his sword, which was descending on the milky head of reverend Priam, seemed in the air to stick. So, as a painted tyrant, Pyrrhus stood, and like a neutral to his will and matter, did nothing. Then, after Pyrrhus' pause, a roused vengeance sets him new awork. Never did the Cyclops' hammers fall on Mars' armor forged for proof return with less remorse than did the bleeding sword of Pyrrhus now fall on Priam.
This is too long.
It shall to the barbers with thy beard. Oh, prithee say on. He's for a jig, or a tale of baldry, or he sleeps. Prithee say on. Come to Hecuba.
But who or woe had seen the mobled queen?
Mobled queen?
Mobled queen is good.
But who or woe had seen the mobled queen run barefoot up and down, threatening the flames with bison rheum? A clout upon that head where late the diadem stood, and for a robe about her lank and all her teamed loins, a blanket in the alarm of fear caught up. Who this had seen with tongue in venom steeped gainst fortune's state would treason have pronounced. And if the gods themselves did see her then, when she saw Pyrrhus make malicious sport,
in mincing with his sword her husband's limbs. The instant burst of clamour that she made, unless things mortal move them not at all, would have made milch the burning eyes of heaven and passion in the gods.
Look, for he's not turned his colour. There's tears in his eyes. Oh, prithee, no more.
It is well. I'll have thee speak the rest of this out soon. Good my lord, will you see the players well bestowed? Do you hear? Use them well, for they are the abstract and the brief chronicles of the time. After your death, you had better have a bad epitaph than their ill report while you live.
My lord, I shall use them according to their desert.
Oh, it's bargains, man, much better. Use every man after his desert, and who shall escape whipping? Use them after your own honour and dignity. The less they deserve, the more merit is in your bounty. Take them in.
Come, gentlemen.
Follow him, sir. We'll have a play tomorrow. Dost thou hear, old friend? Can you play The Murder of Gonzago?
Aye, my lord.
'Tis well. We'll have it tomorrow night. You could, for a need, study a speech of some 12 or 16 lines, which I would set down and insert it, could you not?
Aye, my lord.
'Tis well. Follow that lord, and look you, mock him not. Friends, I'll leave you till tonight. You are welcomed to Elsinore.
Good, my lord.
Now, I am alone. Oh, what a rogue and peasant slave am I. Is it not monstrous that this player here, but in a fiction, but in a dream of passion, could force his soul so to his own conceit that from her working, all his visage wan, tears in his eyes, distraction in his aspect, a broken voice, and his whole function suiting with forms to his conceit, and all for nothing. For Hecuba. What's Hecuba to him, or he to her, that he should weep for her? Why, what would he do had he the motive and the cue of passion that I have? He would drown the stage with tears and cleave the general ear with horrid speech. Make mad the guilty and appall the free, confound the ignorant, and amaze indeed the very faculties of eyes and ears, yet I, a dull and muddy metal rascal, peak like John o' Dreams, unpregnant of my cause, and can say nothing. No, not for a king, upon whose property and most dear life a damned defeat was made. Am I a coward? Who calls me villain, breaks my pater cross, plucks off my beard and blows it in my face, twigs me by the nose and gives me the line in the throat as deep as to the lungs. Who does me this, huh? Zounds, I should take it, for it cannot be but that I am pigeon-livered and lack gall to make oppression bitter. Or else, Alice, I should have fatted all the region kites with this slave's offal. Bloody bawdy, remorseless, lecherous, treacherous, kindless villain! Oh, vengeance! What an ass am I. This is most brave. But I, sole son of a dear father murdered, prompted to my revenge by heaven and hell, must like a whore unpack my heart with words and fall a cursing like a very drab scullion. Fire about my brains. I have heard that guilty creatures sitting at a play have by the very cunning of the scene been struck so to the soul that presently they have proclaimed their malefactions. For murder, though it have no tongue, will speak with most miraculous organs. I'll have players. Play something like the murder of my father before mine uncle. I'll observe his looks. I'll tempt him to the quick. If he do blench, I know my course. The spirit that I have seen may be the devil, and the devil hath power to assume a pleasing shape, yea, but out of my weakness and my melancholy, abuses me to damn me. I'll have grounds more relative than this. The play's the thing wherein I'll catch the conscience of the king.
Can you by no dint of conference get from him why he puts on this confusion, grating so harshly all his days of quiet with turbulent and dangerous lunacy?
My lord, he does confess he feels himself distracted, but from what cause will by no means speak.
Nor do we find him forward to be sounded, but with a crafty madness keeps aloof when we would bring him on to some confession of his true state.
Did he receive you well?
Oh, most like a gentleman.
But with much forcing of his disposition.
Negative question, but of our demands most free in his regard.
And did you essay him to any pastime?
Madam, it so fell out that certain players we wrought on the way. Of these we told him, and there did seem in him a kind of joy to hear of it. They are here about the court, and as I think, they have already ordered this night to play before him.
It is very true, my lord, and he did beseech me to entreat your majesties to hear and see the matter.
With all my heart, that must content me to hear him thus inclined. Good gentlemen, give him further edge, and drive his purpose of these delights.
We shall, my lord.
Sweet Gertrude, leave us too. For we have closely sent for Hamlet hither, that he is twere by accident may here confront Ophelia. Her father and myself, lawful as styles, will so bestow ourselves that, seeing unseen, we may of their encounter frankly judge, and together as he has behaved, whether to be the affliction of his love or no, that thus he suffers for.
I shall obey you. And for your part, Ophelia, I do hope it may be the happy virtues of your...
The happy cause. Your virtues will bring you...
Ophelia, read upon this book. My lord, we will bestow ourselves. Read upon this book that shows such an exercise might colour your loneliness. 'Tis too much said, 'tis too much proved, that with devotion's visage and pious action, we may sugar o'er the devil himself.
Oh, 'tis true. How smart a lash that speech doth give my conscience. The harlot's cheek, beautied with the plastering art, is not more ugly to the thing that paints it than is my deed to my most painted word. Oh, heavy burden.
My lord, I hear him coming. Let's away.
Or not to be, that is the question. Whether it is nobler in the mind to suffer the slings and arrows of outrageous fortune, or to take arms against the sea of troubles, and by opposing, end them. To die, to sleep. No more. And by a sleep, to say we end the heartache, thousand natural shocks that flesh is heir to. Oh, it is a consummation devoutly to be wished, to die, to sleep. To sleep, perchance to dream. Aye, there's the rub. For in that sleep of death, what dreams may come, and we have shuffled off this mortal coil, must give us pause. There's the respect that makes calamity of so long life. Who would bear the whips and scorns of time, the oppressor's wrong, the proud man's contumely, the pangs of disprized love, the law's delay, the insolence of office, the spurns the patient merit of the unworthy takes, when he himself might his quietus make with a bare-bod king. Who would father's bed, grunt, sweat under a weary life, but with the dread of something after death, the undiscovered country, from whose bourne no traveller returns, it puzzles the will, and makes us rather bear those ills we have than fly to others that we know not of. Thus conscience does make cowards of us all, and thus the native view of resolution is sickened o'er with a pale cast of thought, and enterprises of great pitch and moment with this regard their currents turn awry and lose the name of action. Soft now, the fair Ophelia. Nymph, in thy orisons be all my sins remembered.
Good my lord, how does your honour for this many a day?
I humbly thank you. Well.
My lord, I have here some remembrances of yours that I have longed long to redeliver. I pray you now receive them.
Not I. I never gave you aught.
My honoured lord, you know right well you did, and with them words of so sweet breath composed as made the things more rich. Their perfume lost, take these again, for to the noble mind, which gifts wax poor when givers prove unkind. There, my lord.
Are you honest?
My lord.
Are you fair?
What means your lordship?
That if you be both honest and fair, your honesty should admit no discourse to your beauty.
Could beauty, my lord, have better commerce than with honesty?
Oh, aye, truly. For the power of beauty will sooner transform honesty from what it is to a bawd than the force of honesty can translate beauty into his likeness. This was sometimes a paradox, but now the time gives it proof. I did love you once.
Indeed, you made me believe so.
You should not have believed me. For virtue cannot so inoculate our old stock, but we shall relish of it. I loved you not.
I was the more deceived.
Oh. Get thee to a nunnery. Why wouldst thou be a breeder of sinners? I am myself indifferent honest, but yet I could accuse me of such things that it were better my mother had not borne me. I am very proud, revengeful, ambitious, with more offences at my beck than I have thoughts to put them in, imagination to give them shape, or time to act them in. What should such fellows as I do, crawling between heaven and earth? We are arrant knaves all, believe none of us. Go thy ways to a nunnery. Where's your father?
At home, my lord.
Let the doors be shut on him, that he may play the fool nowhere but in his own house. Farewell.
Sweet heavens.
If thou dost marry, I'll give thee this plague for a dowry. Be thou as pure as ice, as chaste as snow, thou shalt not escape calumny. To a nunnery, go, farewell. But if thou must needs marry, marry a fool, for wise men do know what monsters you make of them. Go, and quick too, farewell! I have heard of your paintings too. Well enough. God hath given you one face, and you make yourselves another. You jig, you apple, you lisp, you nickname God's creatures and make your wantonness your ignorance. Go to, I'll know more of it. It hath made me mad. I say we shall have no more marriages. Those that are married already, or save one, shall live. The rest shall keep as they are. To a nunnery. Go.
What a noble mind is here o'erthrown. The courtiers, soldiers, scholars, eye, tongue, sword. The expectancy and rose of the fair state. The glass of fashion and the mould of form. The observed of all observers. I Now. And I am ladies most deject and wretched, that sucked the honey of his music vows. Now see that noble and most sovereign reason, like sweet bells jangled out of time and heart. That unmatched form and feature of flowing youth, lasted with ecstasy. Woe is me, to see what I have seen. For God's sake.
Love? His affections do not that way tend. Nor what he spoke, though it lacked form a little, was not like madness. There's something in his soul, o'er which his melancholy sits on brood, and I do doubt the hatch and misfire be of some danger. Which for to prevent, I having quick determination, thus set it down. He shall with speed through England, the demand of our neglected tribute. Happily the country is different, and seas and variable objects will dispel this something settled matter in his heart, or which his brain still beating thus hath put him so much out of fashion of himself. What think you on't?
Oh, my lord, it shall do well. But yet I do believe the origin and commencement of all his grief sprung from neglected love. Oh, now, Ophelia, you did not tell us what Lord Hamlet said. We heard it all. Oh, my lord, do as you please. If you think it fit, after the play, let his queen mother all alone entreat him to show his grief. Let her be round with him. And I'll be placed, so please you, in the ear of all their conference. If she find him not, then to England send him, or confine him where your wisdom best shall think.
It shall be so. Madness in great ones must not unwatched go.
I pray you, trippingly on the tongue, as I pronounced it to you. But if you mouth it, as many of our players do, I had as lief the town crier spoke my lines. Nor do not saw the air too much with your hands thus, but use all gently. For in the very torrent, torment, and as I may say, whirlwind of your passion, you must acquire and beget a temperance that will give it smoothness.
I warrant your honour.
Be not too tame, neither, but suit the action to the word, and the word to the action, with this special observance, that you o'erstep not the modesty of nature, for anything so o'erdone is from the purpose of playing, whose end, both from the first to now, was and is, to hold as were the mirror up to nature, to show virtue her own feature, scorn her own image, and the very age and body of the time, its form and pressure. And let those that play your clowns speak no more than is set down for them. How now, my lord? Will the king hear this piece of work?
Aye, my lord, and the queen too, and that presently.
Bid the players make haste! Will you two help to hasten them?
Aye, my lord.
What ho, Horatio!
Yes, sweet lord, at your service.
Horatio, Thou art e'en as just a man as e'er my conversation coped withal.
Oh, my dear lord.
Nay, no, do not think I flatter. For what advancement may I hope from thee? But no revenue hast but thy good spirits to feed and clothe thee. Why should the poor be flattered? Oh. Give me that man that is not passion's slave, and I will wear him in my heart's core, yea, in my heart of hearts, as I do thee. Something too much of this. Consider well the play tonight before the king. One scene of it comes very near the circumstance that I have told thee of my father's death. I prithee, when thou seest that act afoot, even with the very comment of thy soul, observe mine uncle. If his occulted guilt do not itself unkennel in one speech, then it is a damned ghost that we have seen, and my imaginations are as foul as Vulcan's still. Give him heedful note, and after, we will both our judgments join in censure of his sin.
Well, my lord, if our still ought, whilst this play is playing escape detective, I will pay the fare.
They're coming to the play. Get to a place. I must be idle.
How fares our cousin Hamlet?
Excellent faith of the comedian's dish, I eat the air, promised crown. You cannot feed capons, so...
I have nothing with this answer, Hamlet. These words are not mine.
No, nor mine now. And now, my lord Polonius, you played in the university, you say?
That did I, my lord, and was accounted a good actor.
And what did you enact?
I did enact Julius Caesar. I was killed in the Capitol. Brutus killed me.
It was a brute part of him to kill so capital a card. Be the players ready?
Aye, my lord, they stay upon your patience.
Come hither, Hamlet. Sit by me.
No good, madam. Here's metal more attractive.
Oh, did you mark that?
Lady, shall I lie in your lap?
No, my lord.
I mean my head in your lap.
Aye, my lord.
Did you think I meant country matters?
I think nothing, my lord.
Oh, that's a fair thought to lay between a maid's legs.
What is my lord?
Nothing. Why?
Aye, my lord.
God, you're a jig maker. For what should a man do but be merry? But look you how cheerfully my mother looks. And my father died within 2 hours.
Latest twice 2 months, my lord.
So long. Oh, heavens. Died 2 months ago and not forgotten yet. And there's hope a great man's memory might outlive his life by half a year. We shall know by this player. The players cannot keep counsel, they'll tell all.
Will you tell us what this show meant?
For us and for our tragedy, here's stooping to your clemency. We beg your hearing patiently.
Is this the prologue of the posy of a ring?
It's brief, my lord.
As woman's love.
30 times hath Phoebus' cart gone round, Neptune's salt wash and Tellus' orbit ground, and 30 dozen moons with borrowed sheen about the world have times 1230s been, since love our hearts and Hymen did our hands unite commutual in most sacred bands.
So many journeys may the sun and moon make us again count o'er ere love be done. But woe is me, you are so sick of late, so far from cheer in your former state that I distrust you. Yet though I distrust, discomfort you, my lord, it nothing must. For women fear too much, even as they love, and women's love and fear hold quantity in neither aught or in extremity. Now what my love is, proof hath made you know, and as my love is sized, my fear is so. Where love is great, the littlest doubts are fear. Where little fears grow great, great love grows there.
Faith, I must leave thee, love, and shortly too my operant powers their functions leave to do. But thou shalt live in this fair world behind, honoured, beloved, and happily one as kind for husband shalt thou find.
Oh, confound the rest! Such love must needs be treason in my breast. In second husband let me be accursed. None wed the second, but who killed the first.
That's wormwood.
The instances that second marriage move are base respects of thrift, but none of love. A second time I killed my husband dead, when second husband kisses me in bed.
I do believe you think what now you speak, but what we do determine oft we break. Purpose is but the slave to memory of violent birth, but poor validity, which like fruit unripe sticks on the tree, but fall unshaken when they mellow be. 'Tis most necessary that we forget to pay ourselves what to ourselves is debt, what to ourselves in passion we propose, the passion ending, doth the purpose lose. But orderly to end where I begun, our wills and fates do so contrary run, that our devices still are o'erthrown. Our thoughts are ours, their ends none of our own. So think thou wilt no second husband wed, that die thy thoughts when thy first lord is dead.
Nor earth to give me food, nor heaven light, sport and repose lost from me day and night. To desperation turn my trusted hope, and anchor's cheer in prison be my scope. Each opposite that blanks the face of joy, meet what I would have well, and it destroy. Both here and hence, pursue me lasting strife, if once a widow, ever I be wife.
If she should break it now.
'Tis deeply sworn. Sweet, leave me here a while, my spirits grow dull, and fain I would beguile the tedious day with sleep.
Sleep rock thy brain, and never come mischance between us twain.
Madam, how like you this play?
The lady doth protest too much, methinks.
But she'll keep her word.
Have you heard the argument? Is there no offence in't?
Oh, no, they do a jest. Poison in jest. No offence in the world.
What do you call the play?
The Mousetrap. And how? Topically, the play is the image of a murder done in Vienna. Gonzago is the Duke's name, his wife Baptista. 'Tis a knavish piece of work, but what of that? Your Majesty and Lord have free souls. It touches us not. Let the galled jade wince. Our withers are unwrung. This one is Lucianus, nephew to the king.
You're as good as a prologue, my lord.
Wicked murderer, pox with thy damnable faces. The croaking raven doth bellow for revenge.
Thoughts black, hands act, drugs fit and time agreeing, confederate season else no creature seeing. Thou mixture rank of midnight weeds collected,
with Hecate's ban thrice blasted, thrice infected, thy natural magic and dire property on wholesome life usurps immediately.
He poisons him in the garden of his estate. His name's Gonzago. The story is extant and written in very choice Italian. You shall see anon how the murderer gets the love of Gonzago's wife.
King rises. Around, my lord!
Give all the play.
Give me some light! Away!
Why? Let the stricken deer go weep, the heart ungalled play. For some must watch while some must sleep, thus runs the world away. Would not this, sir, with a forest of feathers, if the rest of my fortunes turn Turk with me, with a couple of provincial roses on my raised heels, get me a fellowship and a cry of players, sir?
Half a share.
A whole one eye. For thou dost know, O Damon dear, this realm dismantled was of Jove himself, who now reigns here, a very, very peacock.
You might have rhymed.
Good Horatio. I'll take the ghost's word for £1,000. Did perceive?
Very well, my
Upon
lord.
the talk of the poisoning?
I did very well note it.
Come, some music. Come, the recorders. For if the king like not the comedy, why then he likes it not, Purdy. Come, some music.
Good, my lord, vouchsafe me a word with you.
Sir, a whole history.
The king, sir.
Sir, what of him?
Is in his retirement marvellous discomfort.
With drink, sir?
No, sir, with collar.
Oh, your wisdom should show itself more richer to signify this to his doctor, for me to put him to his purgation would perhaps drive him into more choler.
Good, my lord, put your discourse into some frame. Start not so wildly from my affair.
I am tame, sir. Pronounce.
The queen, your mother, in most great affliction of spirit, has sent me to you.
You are welcome.
Nay, good my lord, this courtesy is not of the right breed. If it shall please you to give me a wholesome answer, I will do your mother's commandment. If not, your pardon and my return shall be the end of my business.
Sir, I cannot.
What, my lord?
Give you a wholesome answer. My wit's diseased. But, sir, such answer as I can make, you shall command. Or rather, as you say, my mother, and therefore no more but to the matter. My mother, you say.
Then thus she says, your behavior hath struck her into amazement and admiration.
Oh, wonderful son that can so astonish a mother. But is there no sequel at the heels of this mother's admiration? In part,
She desires to speak with you in her closet ere you go to bed.
we shall obey were she 10 times our mother. Have you any further trade with us?
My lord, you once did love me.
And do so still, by these pickers and stealers.
Good my lord, what is the cause of your distemper? You do surely bar the door upon your own liberty if you deny your griefs to your friends.
Sir, I lack advancement.
How can that be when you have the voice of the king himself for your succession in
Aye,
Denmark?
sir, but while the grass grows. The proverb is something musty. Ah, the recorders. Let me see one. To withdraw with you. Why do you go about to recover the wind of me as though you would drive me into a toil?
No, my lord, if my duty be too bold, my love is too unmannerly.
I do not well understand that. Will you play upon this pipe?
My lord, I cannot.
I pray you.
Believe me, I cannot.
I do beseech you.
My lord, I know no touch of it.
'Tis as easy as lying. Govern these vintages with your fingers and thumb. Give it breath with your mouth. And it will discourse most eloquent music. Look, these are the stops.
But these cannot I command to any utterance of harmony. I have not the skill.
Why, look you. What a thing you would make of me. You would seem to play upon me. You would pluck out the heart of my mystery. You would sound me from my lowest note to the top of my compass. And there is much music, most excellent voice in this little organ, yet cannot you make it speak? Splat! Do you think I am easier to be played on than a pipe? Call me what instrument you will, though you can fret me, yet you cannot play upon me. God bless you, sir.
My lord, the queen would speak with you, and presently.
Do you see yonder cloud that's almost in the shape of a camel?
By the mast, 'tis like a camel indeed.
Methinks 'tis like a weasel.
Is that like a weasel?
Or like a whale.
Very like a whale.
Then I will come to my mother by and by. I will come by and by.
I shall say so.
By and by is easily said. Leave me, friends. 'Tis now the very witching time of night, when churchyards yawn and hell itself breathes out contagion to the world. Now could I drink hot blood and do such bitter business as the day would quake to look upon. Soft, go to my mother. O heart, lose not thy nature. Let me be cruel, but not unnatural. I will speak daggers to her, but use none. How in my words soever she be shaped. To give them seals, never my soul consent.
I likely not. Nor stands it safe with us to let his madness range. Therefore prepare you. I your commission will forthwith dispatch, and he shall along with you to England. The terms of our estate will not endure hazard so near us that the hourly grow out of his brows.
We will ourselves provide. Most holy and religious fear it is to keep those many, many bodies safe that live and feed upon your majesty.
The single and peculiar life is bound with all the strength and armor of the mind to keep itself from noise. But much more, that spirit upon whose will depends and rests the lives of many. The cess of majesty dies not alone, but like a gulf doth draw what's near it with it. Or 'tis a massy wheel fixed on the summit of the highest mount, to whose huge spokes 10,000 lesser things are mortised in the joy, which when it falls, each small annexment, petty consequence attends the boisterous ruin. Never alone did the king sigh, but with a general groan.
Arm you, I pray you, to this speedy voyage, for we will fetters put about this fear that now grows too free-footed.
We will haste us.
My lord, he's going to his mother's closet. Behind the arras, I'll convey myself to hear the process. I'll come upon you ere you go to bed to tell you what I know.
Thanks, dear my lord. Oh, my offense is rank. It smells to heaven. It hath the primal eldest curse upon it. A brother's murder. Pray, can I not? Though inclination be as sharp as will, my stronger guilt defeats my strong intent, and like a man to double business bound, I stand in pause where I should first begin and both neglect. What if this cursed hand were thicker than itself in brother's blood? Is there not rain enough in the sweet heavens to wash it white as snow? Whereto serves mercy, but to confront the visage of offense? And what's in prayer? But this twofold force to be forestalled ere we come to fall, or pardon being down. Then I'll look up. But oh, what form of prayer can serve my turn? Forgive me my foul murder? That cannot be, since I am still possessed of those effects for which I did the murder, my crown, mine own ambition, my queen. May one be pardoned and retain the offense? But then, what rests? Try what repentance can, what can it not? Yet what can it when one cannot repent? O wretched state! O bosom black as death! O violent soul, that struggling to be free art more engaged! Help, angels! Make essay. Bow stubborn knees. And heart with strings of steel be soft as sinews of the newborn babe. All may be well.
Now might I do it. Pat my heel pray. And now I'll do it. So he goes to heaven, and so am I revenged. That would be scanned. A villain kills my father, and for that, I, his sole son, to this same villain send to heaven? Why, this is hiring salary, not revenge. He took my father grocery full of bread, with all his crimes broad blown as flush as May. And am I then revenged to take him in the purging of his soul when he is fit and seasoned for his passage? No. Not sword. I know thou art more hot in it, when he is drunk asleep, or in his rage, or in the incestuous pleasure of his bed, at game a swearing, or about some act that hath no relish of salvation in it. Then trip him, that his heels may kick at heaven, and that his soul may be as damned and black as hell whereto it goes. Another stays. This physic doth but prolong thy sickly days.
My words fly up. My thoughts remain below. Words without thoughts never to heaven go.
Madam, he will come straight. Pray you lay home to him. Tell him his pranks have been too broad to bear with, and that your grace hath stewed and screamed between much heat and him. I'll silence me even here. Oh, pray you be round with him.
I won't. Fear me not.
Mother!
I hear him coming. Withdraw.
Mother!
How now, mother? What's the matter?
Hamlet, thou hast thy father much offended.
Mother! You have my father much offended.
Come, you answer with an idle tongue.
Coco, you question with a wicked tongue.
Why, how now, Hamlet?
What's the matter now?
Have you forgot me?
No, by the road, not so. You are the queen, your husband's brother's wife. And would it were not so, you are my mother.
Nay, I'll set those to thee that can.
Come, you shall not budge. Set you down, and I shall put you up a glass where you may see the inmost part of you.
What wilt thou do? Thou wilt not murder me.
Murder! Help! Help!
Now, rat,
Take the ducat!
Me, what hast thou done?
I know not. Is it the king?
What a rash and bloody deed was this?
Almost as bad, good mother, as kill a king and marry with his brother.
Kill a king?
Aye, lady, it was my word. Thou wretched, rash, intruding fool, farewell. I took thee for thy better. Take thy fortune. Thou find'st to be too busy is some danger. Face me bringing of your hands. Sit you down, and let me bring your heart. For so I shall, if it be made of penetrable stuff, if damned custom hath not brassed it so that it be proof and bulwark against sense.
I done that thou darest wag thy tongue in noise so rude against me?
Oh, such a deed that blurs the blush and grace of modesty, calls virtue hypocrite, takes off the fair rose from the forehead of an innocent love and sets a blister there, makes marriage vows as false as dicer's oaths.
What deed that roars so loud and thunders in the index?
Look here, on this portrait, and on this. The counterfeit presentment of two brothers. See what a grace was seated on this brow. Hyperion's curls, the front of Jove himself, an eye like Mars to threaten and command. A station like the herald Mercury new lighted on a heaven-kissing hill. A combination, and a form indeed, where every god did seem to set his seal to give the world assurance of a man. This was your husband. Look you now what follows. This is your husband. Like a mildewed ear blasting his wholesome brother. Have you eyes? Could you on this fair mountain leave to feed and batten on this moor? Have you eyes? You cannot call it love. For at your age, the heyday in the blood is tame. It's humble and waits upon the judgment. And what judgment would step from this to this? Oh, shame, where is thy blush? Rebellious hell, if thou canst mutiny in a matron's bones, to flaming youth let virtue be as wax and melt in its own fire. Proclaim no shame when the compulsive ardor gives the charge, since frost itself as actively doth burn and reason panders will.
Hamlet, speak to me no more. Thou hast turned mine eyes into my very soul, and there I see such black and grained spots as will not leave their tint.
Nay, but to live in the rank sweat of an enseamed bed, stewed in corruption, honeying and making love over the nasty stars.
No more, sweet Hamlet, thy words like daggers.
A murderer and a villain, a slave that is not 20th part the tithe of thy preceded lord, a vice of kings, a cutpurse of the empire and the rule, that from the shelf the precious diadem stole and put it in his pocket.
No more.
A king of shreds and patches. Save me, and hover o'er me with your wings, you heavenly gods. What would your gracious figure?
Alas, he's mad.
Do you not come your tardy son to chide, that lapsed in time and passion, lets go by the important acting of your dread command? Oh, say.
Do not forget. This visitation is but to whet thy almost blunted purpose. But look, amazement on thy mother sits. Oh, step between her and her fighting soul. Conceit in weakest bodies strongest grows. Speak to her, Hamlet.
How is it with you, lady?
Alas, how is it with you? That you do turn your eye on vacancy, and with the incorporeal air do hold discourse. Whereon do you look?
On him. On him. Look you how pale he wears. His form and cause conjoined, preaching to stones would make them capable. Oh, do not look on me, lest with this piteous action you convert my stern effects. Then what I have to do will want true colour, tears, perchance for blood.
For whom do you speak this?
Do you see nothing there?
No, nothing at all. Yet all that is I see.
Nor did you nothing hear?
Nothing but ourselves.
Why, look. There. Look where it steals away. My father, in his habit as he lived. Look where he goes, even now, out of the portal.
This is the very coinage of your brain. This bodiless creation, ecstasy, is very cunning.
My pulse, as yours, doth temperately keep time and makes us helpful music. It is not madness that I have uttered. Bring you to the test, and I the matter will reword which madness would gabble from. Oh, mother, for love of grace, lay not this flattering unction to your soul, that not your trespass but my madness speaks. It will but skin and film the ulcerous place, whilst rank corruption, mining all within, infects unseen. Confess yourself to heaven. Repent what's past, and do not spread the compost on the weeds to make them ranker. Forgive me this my virtue, but in the fatness of these pursy times, virtue itself of vice must pardon beg, yea, curb and woo for leave to do him good.
Oh, Hamlet, thou hast cleft my heart in twain.
Oh, throw away the worst part of it, and live the purer for the other half. Good night. and go not to mine uncle's bed. Assume a virtue if you have it not. Refrain tonight, and that shall lend a kind of easiness to the next abstinence. Once more, good night.
And when you are desirous to be blessed, I'll blessing beg of you.
For this same Lord I do repent. But heaven hath pleased it so to punish me with this, and this with me, that I must be their scourge and minister. I will bestow him, and will answer well the death I gave him. Once more, good night. I must be cruel only to be kind. Thus bad begins, but worse remains behind. One word more, good lady.
What shall I do?
Not this by no means as I bade you do. Let the bloat king tempt you once again to bed, pinch wanton on your cheek, and call you his mouse. Let him, for a pair of reaching kisses or paddling in your neck with his damned fingers, make you to ravel all this better out, that I am not in madness, but mad in craft. 'Twere good you let him know.
Words be made of breath, and breath of life. I have no life to say what thou hast said.
I must to England, you know that.
Alack, I had forgot. So concluded on.
There's letters sealed, and my 2 schoolfellows, whom I will trust as I will adders fanged, they bear the mandate. They must sweep my way and marshal me to knavery, but let it work, for 'tis the sport to have the engineer hoist with his own petard, and shall go hard, but I will delve 1 yard below their minds and blow them at the moon. Oh, 'tis most sweet when in one line 2 craft directly meet. This man shall send me packing. I'll lug the guts into the neighbour room. Good night, good mother. Indeed, this counsellor is most still, most secret, and most grave, who was in life a foolish, prating knave. Come, sir, to draw toward an end with you. Good night, good mother.
There's matter in these signs, these profound heaves you must translate as fit we understand them. Where's your son?
Bestow this place on us, Lord. Oh, my Lord, what I have seen this night.
What, Gertrude? How does Hamlet?
Mad as the sea and wind, when both contend which is the mightier. In his lawless fit, behind the arras hearing something stir, drags out his dagger, cries, a rat, a rat! And in this brainish apprehension, kills the unseen good of life.
Oh, heavy deed! It had been so with us had we been there. His liberty is full of threats to us all, to you, yourself, to us, to everyone. Alas, how shall this bloody deed be answered? It will be laid to us, whose providence should have kept short, restrained, and out of haunt this mad young man. But so much was our love, that we would not do what was most fit, and like the owner of a foul disease, to keep it from divulging, that it feed, even on the very pith of life. Where's he gone?
Draw away the body he hath killed, for which his very madness, like some ore among a mineral of metal's base, shows itself pure. He weeps for what is done.
Gertrude, come away! The sun no sooner shall the mountains touch than we will ship him hence. And this foul deed, with all our majesty and skill, we must both countenance and excuse. So, do this done! Friends, both, go join you with some further aid. Hamlet in madness hath Polonius slain, and from his mother's closet hath he dragged him. Go, seek him out, speak fair, and bring his body to the chapel. I pray you make haste in this.
Oh, my lord.
Come, Gertrude. We'll call up our wisest friends and tell them both what we mean to do and what's untimely done. So haply slander, whose whisper o'er the world's diameter, as level as the cannon to his blank transports his poisoned shot, may miss our name and hit the wondrous air. Oh, come away! My soul is full of discord and dismay!
Safely stowed.
Hamlet! Hamlet!
What noise? calls on Hamlet? Hither they come.
What have you done, my lord, with the dead body?
Bestowed it with dust, whereto 'tis kin.
Tell us when it is that we may take it thence and bear it to the chapel.
Do not believe it.
Believe what?
That I can keep your counsel and not mine oath. Besides, to be demanded of a sponge, what replication should be made by the son of a king?
Take you be for a sponge, my lord?
Aye, sir, that soaks up the king's countenance, his rewards, his authorities. But such officers do the king best service in the end. When he needs what you have gleaned, it is but squeezing you, and sponge, you shall be dry again.
I understand you not, my lord.
I'm glad of it. A knavish speech sleeps in a foolish ear.
My lord, you must tell us where the body is, and go with us to the king.
The body is with the king, but the king is not with the body. The king is a thing.
A thing, my lord?
Of nothing. Bring me to him. High fox and all of them.
I have sent to seek him and to find the body. How dangerous is it this mad young man goes loose. Yet must not we put the strong law upon him. He is loved of the distracted multitude, who like not in their judgment but their eyes. It is so, the offender's scourge is weighed, but never the offence. To bear all smooth and even must seem deliberate pause. Diseases, desperate groan, of desperate appliance are relieved, or not at all. How now, what has befallen?
Where the dead body is bestowed, my lord, we cannot get from him.
But where is he?
Without, my lord, God, to know your pleasure.
Bring him before us.
Oh, Guildenstern, bring in the lord.
How now, Hamlet? Where's Polonius?
At supper.
At supper? Where?
Not where he eats, but where he is eaten. A certain party of convocation of politic worms are in at him. Your worm is your only emperor for diet. We fat all creatures else to fat ourselves, and we fat ourselves for maggots. Your fat king and your lean beggar is but variable service. 2 dishes, but to the same table. That's the end.
Alas, alas!
A man may fish with a worm that hath ate of a king, and eat of that fish that hath fed off that worm.
What dost thou mean by this?
Nothing but to show you how a king may go a progress through the guts of a beggar.
Where's Polonius?
In heaven. Send thither to see. But if your messenger find him not there, you may seek him in the other place yourself. But indeed, if you find him not within this month, you shall nose him as you go up the stairs into the loft.
Go, seek him there!
He will stay till you come.
Hamlet, this deed for thine especial safety, which we do tender as we dearly grieve for that which thou hast done, must send thee hence with fiery quickness. Therefore prepare thyself. The wind is ready, the bark at help, and everything is bent for England.
For England?
Aye, Hamlet.
Good.
So 'tis if thou knewst our purpose.
I see a cherub that sees them. But come, for England. Farewell, dear mother.
Thy loving father, Hamlet.
My mother? Mother and father is man and wife. Man and wife is one flesh. And so my mother. But come, for England.
Follow him at foot. Tempt him with speed aboard. Not have him hence tonight. Delay it not, for everything is sealed and done that else seems on the affair. And England, if my love thou hold'st at aught, as my great power thereof may give thee sense, since yet thy cicatrice looks raw and red after the Danish sword, and thy free oar pays homage to us, thou mayst not coldly set our sovereign purpose, which is laid out in full in letters congruing the effect, the present death of Hamlet. Do it, England, for like the hectic in my blood he rages, and thou must cure me, till I know 'tis done. Howe'er my haps, my joys were ne'er begun.
If that his majesty would aught with us, we shall express our duty in his eye, and let him know, sir.
I'll do it, my lord.
Go softly on.
I will not speak with her.
She is importunate, indeed distract. Her mood will needs be pitied.
What would she have?
She speaks much of her father, says she hears this, tricks of the world, and hems and beats her heart, spurns enviously at straws, speaks things in doubt that carry but half sense. Her speech is nothing, yet the unshaped use of it doth move the hearers to collection.
Good she was spoken with, for she may strew dangerous conjectures in ill-reading minds. Let her come in. My sick soul, sin's true nature is. Each toy seems prologue to some greater myth. So full of artless jealousy is guilt, it spills itself in fearing to be spilt.
Where is the beauty's majesty of Denmark?
Why, how now, Ophelia?
How should I your true love know from another one? By his cocoa hat and staff, and his sandal shoe.
Oh, but sweet lady, what imports this song?
Say you, may pray you, mark. He is dead and gone, lady, he is dead and gone. At his head a grass green turf, at his heels a stone.
Nay, but I see, pray you mark.
White his shroud as the mountain snow, blooded all with sweet flowers, which we wept to the ground did not go with true love's shower.
Alas, look here, my lord. How do you, pretty lady?
Well, God healed you. They say the owl was a baker's daughter. Lord, we know what we are, but know not what we may be. God be at your table.
Conceit upon our father, that's the third greater.
Let's have no words of this. But if they ask you what it means, say you this. Tomorrow is St. Valentine's Day, all in the morning the shine, and I am made at your window to be your Valentine. So up he rose and donned his clothes, and up the chamber door, let in the maid that out her maid never departed more.
Pity Ophelia.
Indeed, thou without an oath, I'll make an end on't. By Jis and vice and charity, alack and fie for shame, young men will do it if they come to it. By cock they are to blame.
How long has she been thus?
Quoth she before you tumbled me, you promised me to wed. And he answers, so would I have done by yonder sun, and thou hadst not come to my bed. I hope all will be well. We must be patient. But I cannot choose but weep. To think they would lay him in the cold ground. My brother shall know of it. And so, I thank you for your good counsel. Come, my coach. Good night, ladies. Good night.
Follow her at foot.
Good night.
Give her good watch, I pray you. Oh, this is poison of deep grief. It springs all from our father's death. Oh, Gertrude, Gertrude, When sorrows come, they come not single spies, but in battalions. First her father slain, next your son gone, and he most violent author of his own just remove. The people muddied, thick and unwholesome in their thoughts and whispers for good Polonius' death, and we have done but greedily in hugger-mugger to inter him. Poor Ophelia, divided from herself and her fair judgment, without the which we are but pictures or mere beasts. Next, and as much containing to all this, her brother is in secret returned from France, feeds on his wonder, lives on clouds, wants not buzzers to infect his ear with pestilent speeches of his father's death.
What noise is this?
Attend! Where are my sisters? Let them guard the door.
Save yourself, my lord. Young Laertes no riotous head obeys your officers. The rabble call him lord, they cry. Choose we, Laertes shall be king. Caps, hands, and tongues applauded to the clouds. Laertes shall be king. Laertes king.
Doors are broke.
Where is this king? Sirs, stand you all without. I pray you give me leave. I thank you. Keep the door. Oh, thou vile king, give me my father.
Come, little Laertes.
That drop of blood that's cold proclaims me bastard, cries cuckold to my father, brands the harlot even here between the chaste unsmirched brows of my true.
What is the cause, Laertes, that thy rebellion looks so giant-like? Let him go, Gertrude. Do not fear our person. There is such divinity to hedge of king that treason can but peep at what it would, acts little of his will. Tell me, Laertes, why thou thus incensed? Let him go, Gertrude. Speak, man.
Where is my father?
Dead.
But not
Let him demand his fill.
How came he dead? I'll not be juggled with. To hell allegiance, vows to the blackest devil, conscience and grace, to the profoundest pit I dare damnation. To this point I stand, with both the worlds I give to negligence, then come what comes, only I'll be revenged most thoroughly for my father.
And who shall stay you?
My will, not all the worlds. And for my means I'll husband them so well they shall go far with little.
Good Laertes. If you desire to know the certainty of your dear father, is it writ in your revenge that sweepstake you will draw both winner and loser, friend and foe?
None but his enemies.
You will know them then.
His good friends thus wide I load my arms, and like the kind light rendering pelican rip past them with my blood.
Now you speak like a good child and a true gentleman. That I am guiltless of your father's death, and am most sensibly in grief for it, shall as level to your judgment peer as day doth to your eye. Now, what will it say?
Oh, heat! Try up my brains! Tears 7 times salt burn at the sense and virtue of mine eye. By heaven, thy madness shall be repaid by weight till our scale turn the beam. Oh, Rose of May, dear maid, kind sister, sweet Ophelia. How is it possible? A young maid's wit should be as mortal as an old man's life. Nature is finer than love, and where 'tis fine it sends some precious instance of itself after the thing it loves.
They walk in their face on the hill, hey, nonny, nonny, hey, nonny, and in his grey brain many heart Are you well, my dove?
Hadst thou thy wits and didst persuade revenge, it could not move thus.
You must sing a down, and you call him a downer. How the wheel becomes it. It is the false steward that stole his master's daughter.
It's nothing's more than matter.
Here's rosemary. That's for remembrance. Pray you, love, remember. Here's pansies. That's for thoughts.
Document in madness, thoughts and remembrance fitted.
Here's fennel for you. And columbines. Here's some roux for you. And here's some for me. We may call it Herba Grace for Sundays. Oh. You must wear yours with a difference. There's a daisy. I would give you some violets, but they withered all when my father died. They say I made a good end. All is sweet, happiness, all my joy.
Faults and afflictions, passion, hell itself, turns favour into prettiness.
Unwilling not come again. Unwilling not come again. No, 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 he is dead. Go to thy bed. He never will come again. His beard was as white as snow. Of flaxen was his hair. He is gone, and we cast away low. God have mercy on his soul. And of all Christian souls I pray, God, God by you.
You see this? Oh, God!
Oh, there it is. I must commune with your grief, or you deny me right. Go but apart. Make choice of whom your wisest friends you will, and they shall hear and judge twixt you and me. And if by direct or collateral hand they find us touched, we shall our kingdom give, our crown, our throne, and all that we call ours to you in satisfaction. But if not, be you content to lend your patience to us, and we will jointly labour with your soul to give it due content?
Let this be so. His means of death, his obscure funeral, no trophy sword, no attachment, or his bones, no noble rite, no formal ostentation, cry to be heard as it were from heaven to earth, that I must call it in question.
So you shall. Where the offence is, let the great axe fall. I pray you, come with me.
What are they that brought these letters?
The seafaring men, sir. They stay outside to know your pleasure.
I do not know from what part of the world they should be greeted, if not from Lord Hamlet. Horatio, when thou shalt have overlooked this, give these fellows some means to the king. They have letters for him. Ere we were 2 days old at sea, a pirate of very warlike appointment gave us chase. Finding ourselves too slow of sail, we put on a compelled valour, and in the grapple I boarded them. On the instant, they got clear of our ship. So I alone became their prisoner. They have dealt with me like thieves of mercy, but they knew what they did. I am to do a good turn for them. Let the king have the letters I have sent, and repair thou to me with as much speed as thou wouldst fly death. I have words to speak in thine ear will make thee dumb, yet are they much too light for the bore of the matter. These good fellows will bring thee where I am. Rosencrantz and Guildenstern hold their course for England. Of them I have much to tell thee. Farewell. He that thou knowest, thine Hamlet. Come, I will give you way for these your other letters, and do it the speedier that we may direct us to him from whom they brought them.
Now must your conscience my acquittance seal, and you must put me in your heart for friend, since you have heard, and with a knowing ear, that he who hath your noble father slain pursued my life.
It well appears.
But tell me why you proceeded not against these feats, so criminal and so capital in nature, as by your safety, greatness, wisdom, all things else humanely were stirred up.
Oh, for two very special reasons, which may to you seem much unsinewed, but yet to me they're strong. The Queen, his mother, lives almost by his looks. And as for myself, my virtue or my plague, be it either which, she is so conjunctive to my life that like the star moves not in his sphere, I cannot but by her. And the other reason why to public count I cannot go is the love the general gender bear him. Dipping all his faults in their affections, work like the spring that turneth wood to stone, convert his gyves to graces.
So have I a noble father lost, a sister driven unto desperate turns, whose worth with praises may go back again, stood challenger on mount of all her age for her perfections.
But my revenge will come. Break not your sleep for that. You must not think that we are made of stuff so flat and dull that we would let our beard be shook by danger and call it pastime. You shortly shall hear more. How now, what news?
Letters, my lord, from Hamlet. These to your majesty, this to the Queen.
From Hamlet? Who brought them?
Sailors, my lord, they say. I saw them not.
You shall hear these ladies. Leave us. High and mighty, you shall know, I am set naked on your kingdom. Tomorrow shall I beg leave to see your kingly eyes, when I shall first, asking your pardon thereunto, account the occasion of my sudden and more strange return. Hamlet. What should this mean? Are all the rest come back? Or is it some abuse and no such thing?
Know you the hand?
'Tis Hamlet's character. Naked. And in a postscript here he says, alone.
But let him come. It warns the very sickness of my heart that I shall live and tell him to his teeth, thus didst thou.
If it be so, Laertes, if it be so, how should it be so? How otherwise? Will you be ruled by me?
Aye, my lord, so you will not all-rule me to a peace.
To thine own peace. If Hamlet be returned, as checking at his voyage, it means no more to undertake it. I have an exploit now ripe in my device, under the which he shall not choose but fall, and at his death no wind of blame shall breathe, but even his mother shall uncharge the accident and call it practice. There was here 3 months since a gentleman from Normandy. Now I have seen and fought against the French, and they can well on horseback. But this gallant had witchcraft in it. He made confession of you, and gave you such a masterly report for art and exercise in your defense, and of your rapier most especial, that he cried out to be a sight indeed if one could match you. The screamers of his nation, he swore, had neither motion, guard, nor eye, if you opposed them. Sir, this report of his did Hamlet so envenom with his envy that he could nothing do but wish and beg your sudden coming o'er to play with you. Now, out of this.
What out of this, my lord?
That is, was your father dear to you, or are you like a painting of a fellow, a face without a heart?
Why ask you this?
Not that I think you did not love your father, but that I know love is begun by time. And I have seen in passages of proof, time qualifies the spark and fire of it. There lives within the very flame of love a kind of wick or snuff that will abate it. And nothing is at a like goodness still, but goodness, growing to a pleurisy, dies in its own too much. What we would do, we should do when we would. Back to the quick and the answer. Hamlet comes back. What would you undertake to show indeed you are your father's son, more than in words?
To cut his throat in the church.
No place indeed should murder sanctuaries. Revenge shall have no bounds. But, good Laertes, will you do this? Stay close within your chamber. Hamlet returned shall know that you are come home. We'll put on those shall praise your excellence, and put a double varnish on the fame the Frenchman gave you, bring you in fine together, wager on your heads. He, being most generous and free from all contriving, will not peruse the foils, so that with ease, or with a little shuffling, you may choose a sword unbaited, and in a pass of practice, requite him for your father.
I will do it.
And for that purpose, I'll anoint my sword. I bought an unction of a mountebank so mortal that, but different like in it, no cataplasm so rare, collected from all simples that have virtue under the moon, can save the thing from death that is but touched withal. I'll touch my point with this contagion, that if I gall him slightly, it may be death.
Let's further think of this. Weigh what convenience both of time and means may fit us to our shape. If this should fail, and that our drift look through our bad performance, 'twere better not essayed. Therefore this project should have a back or second, that might hold if this did last and prove soft. Let me see, who'll make a solemn wager on your cunnings? I have it. When in your motions you are hot and dry, as make your bouts more violent to that end, and that he calls for a drink, I shall have prepared a chalice for the nonce, whereon but sipping, if he by chance escaped your venom stuck, our purpose may hold there. Soft. Who comes here? Oh, sweet queen.
One won't tread upon another's heels, so fast they fall. Your sister's drowned, Laertes.
Ah, where?
There is a willow, lies aslant a brook, that shows its hoar leaves in the glassy stream. There, fantastic garlands did she make, of crowflowers, nettles, daisies, and long purples, that liberal shepherds give a grosser name, but our cold maids do dead men's fingers call. There, on a pendant bough, her crownet weeds clambering to hang, an envious sliver broke, and down her weedy trophies and herself fell the weeping brook. Her clothes spread wide, and mermaid-like a while they bore her up, how she chanted snatches of old tunes, as one incapable of her own distress. Or, like a spirit, native and endued unto that element. But long it could not be, ere that her garments, heavy with their drink, pulled the poor wretch from her melodious lay to muddy death.
Alas, and she is drowned.
Drowned. Drowned?
Too much water hast thou, poor Ophelia, and therefore I forbid my tears. Yet it is our trick. Nature her custom holds, let shame say what it will. When these are out, the woman will be gone. Adieu, my lord. I have some speech of fire that fain would blaze, but that this body hands it.
Come, Gertrude. How much I had to do to calm his rage. Now I fear I this will give it start again. Come, let's follow.
Is she to be buried in Christian burial when she willfully seeks her own salvation?
Oh, I tell thee she is.
Therefore make her grave straight. The crowner have sat on her, and he finds it Christian burial.
Well, how can that be? Unless she drowned herself in her own defence.
What is found so?
It must be Sao Fendendo. It cannot be else, for here lies the point. If I drown myself wittingly, it argues an act. Now, an act has three branches. It is to act, to do, and to perform. Our gal, she drowned herself witting.
No, but here you good man, Delver.
Now, give me leave. Here lies the water. Good. Here stands the man. Good. Now, if the man goes to this water and drowns himself, it is willy-nilly he goes, now mark you that. But if the water come to him and drown him, he drowns not himself. Our gal, he that is not guilty of his own death, shortens not his own life.
But is this law?
Aye, man, yes. Cronus questo.
Would you have the truth on it? If she had not been a gentlewoman, she should have been buried out of Christian burial.
Why, there thou sayest. And the more pity that great folk should have countenance in this world to drown or hang themselves more than they're even Christian. Ah, come, my spade. There is no ancient gentleman but gardeners, ditchers, and grave makers. They hold up Adam's profession.
Was he a gentleman?
Ah, was the first that ever bore arms.
Why, he had none.
What? Art a heathen? How dost thou understand the scriptures? The scripture says Adam digged. Could he dig without arms? Huh? I put another question to thee. If thou answerest me not to the purpose, confess thyself.
Go to.
What is he that builds stronger than either the carpenter, the shipwright, or the mason?
The gallows maker. For that frame outlives 1,000 tenants.
I gave that a good faith. Aye, the gallows does well. But how does it well? It does well to those that do ill. Now thou dost ill to say that the gallows is built stronger than the church. Our gal, the gallows may do well to thee. To together, come.
What is he who builds stronger than either the mason, the shipwright, or the carpenter?
Tell me that and you.
Oh, Mary, now I can tell.
Okay, go to.
Oh, Mass, I cannot tell.
Cudgel your brain no more about it, for your Dallas will not make his place with beating. And when you are next asked this question, say a grave maker. Ah, the houses he builds last till doomsday. No. Go get me to Yochen and fetch me a stoop of liquor.
In youth when I did love, methought it was very sweet to contract the time with my behoof. Methought there was nothing meet.
Had this fellow no feeling for his business that he sings at grave making?
Custom had made it in him a property of easiness.
But 5 with his stealing steps have caught me in his crutch and have shifted me into the land as if I had never been such.
That skull had a tongue it, and could sing once. How the knave jowls it to the ground as though profanes war the first murder. Why may this not be the pate of a politician which this ass now o'erreaches, one that would circumvent God, might it not?
It might, my lord.
A pickaxe and a spider's spine, and a shrouding sheet. Oh, a pit of clay for to be by, for such a guest is meet.
There's another. Why may that not be the skull of a lawyer? Huh? Where be his quiddities now, his cases, his tenures and his tricks? Why does he suffer this mad knave to knock him about the sconce with a dirty shovel and will not tell him of his action of battery? I will speak to this fellow. Whose grave's this, sirrah?
Mine, sir. Oh, a pit of clay for...
I think it be thine indeed, for thou liest in.
Oh, well, you lie out on, sir, therefore 'tis not yours. For my part, I do not lie in it, yet 'tis mine.
Thou dost lie in't, to be in and say 'tis thine. 'Tis for the dead, not for the quick, therefore thou liest.
Ah, well, 'tis a quick lie, sir, 'twill away again from me to you.
What man dost thou dig it for?
Oh, for no man, sir.
And what woman, then?
Oh, for none neither.
Who is to be buried in't?
One that was a woman, but rest her soul, sir, she's dead.
How absolute the knave is, we must speak by the book, or equivocation will undo us. How long hast thou been a grave maker?
Oh, of all the days of the year, sir, I come to it that first day that our last King Hamlet overcame Fortinbras.
How long is that since?
Cannot you tell that? Every folk can tell you that. It was that very day that young Hamlet was born. He that is mad and sent into England.
I married. Why was he sent to England?
Well, because I was mad. I should recover his wits there. Or if I does not, 'tis no great matter there.
Why?
Well, there, all the men are as mad as he. 'Twill not be no speech.
How came he mad?
Oh, very strangely, they say.
How strangely?
Faith in with losing his wits.
But upon what ground?
Here in Denmark. I have been sextant here, man and boy, 30 years.
How long will a man lie in the earth ere he rot?
Faith, if I be not rotten afore I die, as I have many pocky courses nowadays, as will scarce hold the lane in, I will last you some, 8 year or 9 year. A 10 I will last you 9 year.
Why he more than another?
Well, sir, his hide is so tanned with his trade that I will hold out the water a great while. And your water is the sore decay of your horse and dead body. Here's a stone now. Have you idea in the earth 23 years?
Whose was it?
Oh, a horse and man as he was, sir. Whose you think it was?
I know not.
Oh, pestle or tell him for a man. I poured a Flanagan relish on my head, what? And this same skull, sir, is Sir Yorick Stud, the king's jester.
This?
Ah, in that.
Let me see. Alas, poor Yorick. I knew him, Horatio. Fellow of infinite jest, most excellent fancy. Why, he hath borne me on his back 1,000 times. And now, how horrid in my imagination it is, my gorge cries exultant. Here hung those lips that I have kissed I know not how often. Where be your gibes now? Your gambols, your songs, your flashes of merriment that were wont to set the table on a roar. No one now to mock your own grinning, quite chop-fallen. Get thee to my lady's chamber. Tell her, let her paint an inch thick. To this favor she must come. Make her laugh at that. Tell me, Horatio, tell me one thing.
What's that, my lord?
Dost thou think that Alexander looked to this fashion of the earth?
E'en so, my lord.
And smelt so?
E'en so, my lord.
To what base uses we may return, Horatio. Why may not imagination trace the noble dust of Alexander till I find it stopping a bunghole?
'Twere to consider too curiously to consider so.
No, faith, not a jot. As us. Alexander died, Alexander was buried. Alexander returneth to dust. The dust is earth, of earth we made loam. Now why of that loam whereto he was converted might one not stop a beer barrel? Imperious Caesar, dead and turned to clay, might stop a hole to keep the wind away. Oh, that earth, which kept the world in awe, should patch a hole to expel the winter's flaw. Who comes here? The king, the queen, the courtiers. Who is before? And with such maimed rites, this doth betoken that the horse they follow did with desperate hand fordo its own life. 'Twas of some estate, couch we a while at Bar.
What ceremony else?
That is Laertes, a very noble youth.
What ceremony else?
Her obsequies have been enlarged as far as we have warranty. Her death was doubtful, and but that great command o'ersways the order, she should, and ground unsanctified, have lodged until the last trumpet. For charitable prayers, French shards and pebbles should be heaped on her. Yet here she has her virgin struments, her maiden pramps, and the bringing home of bell and burial.
Must there no more be done?
No more be done, for we should profane the service of the dead to sing a requiem, and such rest to her as to peace-parted souls.
Then lay her in the earth, and from her fair and unpolluted flesh may violets spring. I tell thee, churlish priest, a ministering angel shall my sister be when thou liest howling.
What? The fair Ophelia?
Sweets to the sweet. Farewell. I thought thou should have been my Hamlet's wife. I hoped thy bride to have decked, sweet maid, and not have strewn thy grave.
Oh, treble woe fall 10 times double on that cursed head, whose wicked deed thy most ingenious sense deprived thee of. Hold off the earth a while, till I have caught her once more in mine arms. Now pile your dust upon the quick and the dead. Fill up this flat mountain you have made to our top, old Pelion, or the skyish heights of blue Olympus.
What is he whose grief bears such an emphasis? Whose phrase of sorrow conjures the wandering stars and makes them stand like wonder-wounded hearers? It is I, Hamlet the Dane.
The devil!
Take thy fingers from my throat, for I am of splendid and rash. Yet have I only something dangerous which let thy wisdom fear. Hold up thy hand!
Blasphemous thunder!
Hamlet, Hamlet!
While I will
Good
fight
my
with
lord, be quiet!
I will fight with him upon this theme until mine eyelids will no longer wag.
Oh, my son wants thee!
What wilt thou do for her? I loved Ophelia. 40,000 brothers could not with all their quantity of love keep up my son.
Oh, he is mad, Laertes!
Oh, God, dost thou come here to outface me with leaping in her grave? Be buried quick with her, and so will I. Do you hear me, sir? What is the reason you used me thus? I loved you ever, but it is no matter. Let Hercules himself do what he may. The cat will mew, the dog will have his say.
Ready, Horatio, wait upon him. Away! Away! Strengthen your patience to our last night's speech. We'll put the matter to the present push.
Good Gertrude, set some watch o'er your son.
This grave shall have a living monument. An hour acquired, shortly shall we see. Then in patience our proceeding be.
So much for this. Now shall you see the other. You to remember all the circumstance?
Remember it, my lord?
Sir, in my heart there was a kind of fighting which would not let me sleep. Methought I lay worse than the mutines in the bilboes. Rashly, and praise be rashness for it. But let us know, our indiscretion sometimes serves us well when our deep plots do pall, and that should learn us there's a divinity that shapes our ends, rough hew them how we will.
That is most certain.
Up from my cabin, my sea gown scarfed about me, in the dark groped I to find out then, at my desire, fingered their packet, and in fine withdrew to mine own room again, making so bold, my fears forgetting manners, to unseal their grand commission. Where I found Horatio, our royal knavery, an exact command, blooded with many several sorts of reasons, as Denmark's health and England's too, with such bugs and goblins in my life, that on the supervise, no leisure time abated, no not to stay the grinding of the axe, my head should be struck off.
It's possible.
Here's the commission. Read it at more leisure. But wilt thou hear how I did proceed?
I beseech you.
Now, being thus benetted round with villainies, ere I could make a prologue to my brains, they had begun the play. I sat me down, devised a new commission to the English king, wrote it fair, that on the supervise, no debatement further more or less allowed, he should those bearers put to sudden death, not shriving time allowed.
How was this sealed?
Why, even in that was heaven ordinate. I had my father's signet in my purse, which was the very model of that Danish seal. Folded the writ up in the form of the other, subscribed it, gave it the impression, placed it safely, the changeling never known. Now, the next day was our sea fight, and what to that was sequent thou knowest already.
So Rosencrantz and Guildenstern go to it?
Why, man, they did make love to this employment. They're not near my conscience. Their defeat does by their own insinuation grow. It is dangerous when the baser nature comes between the past and fell insensate points of mighty opposites.
Why, what a king is this?
Doth not think me standing upon he that hath killed my king and whored my mother, popped in between the election and my hopes, thrown out his angle for my proper life, and with such courage, is it not perfect conscience to quit him with this arm, and is not to be damned to let this canker in our nature come in further evil?
It must be shortly known to him from England what is the issue of the business there.
It will be short. The interim is mine, and a man's life's no more than to say one. But I'm very sorry, Horatio, that to Laertes I forgot myself. By the image of my cause, I see the portraiture of his. I'll court his favors, but sure, the bravery of his grief did put me in a towering passion.
Peace, who comes?
Your lordship is right welcome back to Denmark.
I humbly thank you, sir. Dost know this waterfly?
No, my lord.
Thy state is the more gracious, for 'tis a vice to know him. He hath much land and fertile, 'tis a chuff, but as I say, spacious in the possession of dirt.
Sooth, lord, if your lordship were at leisure, I should impart a thing unto you from his majesty.
I shall receive it, sir, with all diligence of spirit. Put your bonnet to its right use, 'tis for the head.
Oh, thank your lordship. Oh, my ears, it is very hot.
No, it is very cold, the wind is northerly.
It is indifferent cold, my lord, indeed.
And yet methinks it is very close and sultry for my complexion.
Exceedingly, my lord. It is very sultry as 'twere. I cannot tell how. But, my lord, his majesty hath bade me signify to you that he has laid a great wager on your head. Sir, this is the matter.
I beseech you, remember,
Nay, for my ears, in good men.
Well, sir.
You are not ignorant of what Excellence Laertes is at his weapon.
What's his weapon?
Rapier and dagger.
That's two of his weapons. Well,
the king, sir, hath laid, sir, that in a dozen passes between yourself and him, he shall not exceed you 3 pits. The king hath laid on 12 for 9, and it should come to immediate trial if your lordship would vouchsafe the answer.
How if I answer no?
I mean, my lord, the opposition of your person in trial.
Sir, I will walk here in the hall. It is the breathing time of day with me. Let the foils be brought. The gentleman willing, and the king hold his purpose, I will win for him if I can. If not, I shall gain nothing but my shame and the odd hits.
Shall I re-deliver your ear, sir?
After what flourish your nature will.
I commend my duty to your lordship.
Yours. Yours.
You will lose this wager, my lord.
I do not think so. Since he went into France, I have been in continual practice. I shall win at the odds. But thou wouldst not think how ill all's here around my heart. 'Tis no matter. 'Tis such a kind of gain-giving as would perhaps trouble a woman.
If your mind is like anything, obey it. I will forestall their repair hither and say you are not fit.
Not a whit. We defy all. There is special providence in the fall of a sparrow. If it be now, then it be not to come. If it be not to come, then it will be now. If it be not now, yet it will come. The readiness is all, since no man knows of aught he leaves, what is to leave betimes. Let be.
Come, Hamlet, take this hand from me.
Give me your pardon, sir. I have done you wrong. But pardoned, as you are a gentleman. His presence knows, and you must needs have heard, how I am troubled with a sore distraction. What I have done that might your nature, honour, and exception roughly awake, I here proclaim. 'Twas madness. Was Hamlet wronged Laertes? Never Hamlet. If Hamlet from himself be ta'en away, and while he's not himself does wrong Laertes, then Hamlet does it not, Hamlet denies it. Who does it then? His madness. If be so, Hamlet is of the faction that is wronged. His madness is poor Hamlet's enemy. Sir, in this audience, let my disclaiming from a purposed evil free me so far in your most generous thoughts that I have shot my arrow o'er the house and hurt my brother.
I am satisfied with nature, whose motive in this case should move me most to my revenge. But in my terms of honour I stand aloof, and will no reconcilement until by some known masters of ill virtue I have a voice, a precedent of peace, to keep my name ungawed. But until that time I do receive your offered love, white love, and will not wrong it.
I do embrace it freely, and will this brother's wager frankly play. Give us the foils, come on.
Come, agree.
I'll be your foil, Laertes. In mine ignorance, your skill shall, like a star in the darkest night, stick fiery of indeed.
You mock me, sir.
No, by this hand.
Give him the foils, young Ulrich. Cousin Hamlet, you know the wager.
Very well, my lord. Your grace hath laid odds on the weaker side.
Oh, I do not fear it, but since he is bettered, we have therefore odds.
This is too heavy. Let me see another.
This likes me well. These foils have all the length.
Aye, my good lord.
Set me some stoups of wine upon that table. If Hamlet give the first or second hit, or quit in answer to the third exchange, let all the battlements their ordnance fire. The king shall drink to Hamlet's better breath, and in the cup an union shall he throw, richer than that which 4 successive kings in Denmark's throne have won. Give me the cup. Now let the kettle to the trumpet speak, the trumpet to the cannon to the heavens to the earth. Now drinks the king to Hamlet. Come, begin. And you, the judges, bear a wary eye.
Come on, sir.
Come on, my lord.
What?
No! Judgment! A hit, a very palatable hit.
Well, again! Hey, give me the cup. Hamlet, this pearl is thine. Here's to thy health. Give him the cup.
I'll play this bout first. Set it by a while. What say you?
A touch, I do confess it. Our son shall win.
That scant of breath. Here, Hamlet, take my napkin. Rub thy brow. The Queen carouses to thy fortune, Hamlet.
Good. Gertrude, do not drink.
I will, my lord. I pray you pardon me.
It is the poison cup. It is too late.
I dare not drink yet, madam. By and by.
Come, let me wipe thy face.
I could hit him now, my lord. I do not think it, yet 'tis almost against my conscience.
Come for the third, Laertes. You do but dally. I pray you, pass with your best violence. I'm afeard you make a wanton of it.
Say you so? Come on.
Nothing. Neither way.
Have at you now! Part them, they are incensed!
Look to the Queen there. Oh!
They bleed on both sides. How is it, my lord?
How is it, Laertes?
Why, Osric, as a woodcut to mine own spring, I am justly killed by mine own treachery.
How did the Queen? She swoons. To see them bleed.
No, no. Oh, sweet Hamlet. I am poisoned.
Treachery! Let the doors be locked! Seek it out!
It is here, Hamlet. Hamlet, thou art slain. For thee there is not half an hour's life. No medicine in the world can do thee good. The treacherous instrument is in thine hand, unbaited and then venomed. Here I lie, never to rise again. My mother's poisoned. I can no more. The king's to blame.
The point and venomed too. Venom? Shall I work?
Oh, help me, friendly ambassador!
Damn it, Dane! Drink off this potion! What is thy union here? Follow my mother!
He is justly served. It is a poison tempered by himself. Exchange forgiveness with me, noble Hamlet. Mine and my father's death lie not on thee, nor thine on me.
Heaven make me free of it.
I followed thee. Wretched queen, adieu. You that look pale, or tremble at this chance, that are but mutes or audience to this act, and I would time, as this fell sergeant death is swift in his arrest. Oh, I could tell you. But let it be. Horatio, I am dead. Thou livest. Report me in my cause aright to the unsatisfied.
Never believe it. I'm more an antique Roman than a Dane. Here's yet some liquor
Much
left.
harder, man! Give me the cup!
What a wounded name, things standing thus unknown, shall I leave behind me. If thou didst ever hold me in thy heart, absent thee from felicity a while, and in this harsh world draw thy breath in pain to tell my story. What warlike noise is that?
Young Fortinbras with conquest come from Poland to the ambassadors of England gives this warlike calling.
I die, Horatio. The potent poison quite outgrows my spirit. I cannot live to hear the news from England. But I do prophesy. The election lights on Fortinbras. He has my dying voice. So tell him, with the occurrence, more or less, which have solicited. Rest silent.
Now cracks a noble heart. Good night, sweet prince. And flights of angels sing thee to thy rest. Why does the drum come hither?
Where is the sun?
What is you would see? If aught of woe or wonder, cease your search.
This quarry cries on havoc. O proud death, what feast is toward in thine eternal cell that thou so many printers at a shot so bloodily hast struck?
The sight is dismal, and our affairs are come too late. The ears are senseless that should give us hearing, to tell him his commandment is fulfilled, that Rosencrantz and Guildenstern are dead. Where should we have our thanks?
Not from his mouth. Had it the ability of life to thank you. He never gave commandment for their deaths. But since, so jump upon this bloody question, you from the Polack wars and you from England are here arrived. Give order that these bodies, high on a stage, be placed to the view. And let me speak to the as yet unknowing world how these things came about. So shall you hear of carnal, bloody, and unnatural acts, of accidental judgments, casual slaughters, of deaths put on by cunning and forced cause. And in this upshot, purposes mistook, fallen on the inventors' heads. All this can I truly deliver.
Let us haste to hear it, and call the noblest to the audience. For me with sorrow I embrace my fortune. I have some rights of memory in this kingdom, which now to claim my vantage doth invite me.
Of that I shall have also cause to speak, and from his mouth whose voice will draw no more. But let this same be presently performed, whilst men's minds are wild, lest more mischance on plots and errors happen.
Let 4 captains bear Hamlet like a soldier to the stage, for he was likely, had he been put on to approved most royal, and for his passage, let the soldier's music and the rights of war speak loudly for him. Take up the bodies. Such a sight as this becomes the field, yet here shows much amiss. Go, bid the soldiers shoot.